Chapter 418. Outside the House of Commanders. The sound of fireworks and firecrackers that had disappeared earlier rang out again as midnight approached. Although there had been a great battle between powerhouses, it did not cause too much damage. The destruction was mainly concentrated in the scenic Lake Gardens area. When the government sent people to announce it everywhere, the police and Department of Investigation Services personnel went out to patrol and spread the news, knowing that the evil sect martial artists had been killed. Now that Sun City was guarded by Grandmaster powerhouses, the people of Sun City had calmed down. The new year was still extremely important to the Chinese. Compared to the great battle that had passed, it was more important to celebrate the New Year's reunion. While it was bustling outside inside the House of Commanders, the atmosphere was getting heavier. The rank 3 by Jinshan was about to collapse to the ground. There were more and more Grandmaster powerhouses. Moreover, these people were talking less and less. Many of them came from outside and did not communicate at all. At most, they would nod and greet the other Grandmasters before finding a place to sit and wait. The rank 3 by Jinshan could not take it anymore. The upper stage rank for Auspicious Sun Commander felt his back breaking out in cold sweat. This was probably the first time he had seen so many Grandmasters in his life. Including the few people from MCMU, there were more than 10 Grandmasters here now. Just as the two of them were extremely nervous, everyone in the hall suddenly looked outside the house. At this moment, a few extremely powerful auras descended outside the house. Fong Ping, how dare you frame others? Do you really think no one can stop you? Outside the house, as soon as the person landed, a middle-aged man with a violent aura roared in anger, his voice extremely cold. A powerful force of coercion headed straight for Fong Ping. Fong Ping dared to slander the two major companies for attacking him in the residential area. This was a serious crime. The person's aura was extremely strong. In the next moment, Old Man Li's vitality soared to the sky, directly lifting the roof. Zheng Minghong, do you want to die? The chaos-vanquishing saber at Fong Ping's waist appeared in Old Man Li's hands instantly. With a hum, the chaos-vanquishing saber was unsheathed instantly. Old Man Li said coldly, "You think I can't kill you? Zheng Minghong, who gave you the guts?" At the same time, Qin Yaoding and Huang Jing stood up at the same time. The blood-red glow above their heads soared to the sky. Celestiality intertwined, causing the void to tremble. Fong Ping's face paled slightly. Then, he turned around and shouted, "So, are you trying to kill me to keep me quiet?" Several auras clashed in midair, and the atmosphere was extremely tense. The next moment, Commander Bai flew into a rage and bellowed, "Do you really think there's no one capable in Nanjiang? Stop right there. Otherwise, don't blame me for being impolite." Although there were golden body powerhouses fighting right now, Commander Bai was only a rank 7. He was still awe-inspiring and fearless. He scolded angrily, "Who gave you the guts to fight here? Stop." At the same time, another aura of the golden body rose instantly. Zhou Dinghua from the military department had arrived. Zhou Dinghua's expression was cold to the extreme. He descended from the sky and looked at the few people who were confronting each other. He shouted coldly, "Enough! Weren't they all too free? If you're too free, go to the catacombs to fight. This is not a place for you to show off." Outside the house, Zheng Minghong's expression was ugly. He said in a low voice, "Commander Zhou, it's not that I, Zheng Minghong, want to show off, but Fong Ping has repeatedly slandered the pill company. Now, it was no longer slandering, but framing. The Elixir Company was established 80 years ago. For the past 80 years, the company had been cautious and conscientious, never daring to slack off. Whether it was the military department or the martial arts universities, could it be that they had forgotten the contributions made by the Elixir Company all these years? They all thought that the Elixir Company was a logistics department. They just needed to focus on development and earn big bucks. Who could still remember all these years in order to improve all kinds of pills? How many martial artists from the Elixir Company had tested the pills on their own bodies? They were willing to take extraordinary risks just to improve the effects of the pills and reduce the toxicity of the pills. What was the result? how many people died in the process of experimenting, and how many people were tortured in the process of testing the pills. Now, our elixir company has become the scum in this ignorant kid's mouth. How could he not know that if the elixir company had not improved the formula time and time again and carried out technical research and development, would a kid like him even have the chance to enter a martial arts university? 80 years ago, the cost of a vitality pill was 5 times the current price, but the efficacy was only half of what it is now. Could it be that people like us are evil because we haven't gone to the battlefield and fought until our heads bleed? Have we not contributed to the martial arts world? Zheng Minghong said angrily. What right does Fong Ping have to judge the elixir company's rights and wrongs? What right does he have to spout nonsense in front of us? Everyone fell silent. Fong Ping said calmly, CEO Zheng, no one denies the elixir company's contributions and efforts, and no one says that research and development in the back does not contribute. You don't have to put a big hat on me the moment you come. You're a rank 8 golden body powerhouse, and you don't have to put on a show of strength the moment you come. Whether it's right or wrong, the judgment will be made. Is I, Fong Ping, trying to frame you? Now that all the departments are here, more than 10 grandmasters, do I, a rank 5 martial artist, dare to frame you? Do you think that everyone's eyes can't see and ears can't hear? Or do you think that I, Fong Ping, or MCMAU, can control the governorships and the central government of the provinces? You're agitated the moment you come. As a rank 8 golden body powerhouse, don't you have this little bit of self-control? Or you already know something? Can I take it that you're bluffing and planning for the future? Impudent. You're the impudent one. Old man Li's eyes were cold and fierce, his vitality soaring. He shouted, if you dare to bully the weak, even if everyone is here today, I will kill you. Li Chongsheng, do you think I'm afraid of you? Zheng Minghong shouted angrily. You really think that you're a rank 8? Try me then. Old man Li snorted coldly. Why would I need a rank 8 to kill you? Insolence. Then let me try your longevity sword. As soon as he finished speaking, the two of them were ready to fight. Zhou Dinghua's expression was so gloomy that it was about to drip water. He said coldly, all of you, shut up. Do you think that no one can control you and that you can do whatever you want? Commander Bai stood up too, his expression extremely ugly. The other grandmasters stood up one after another. A few old grandmasters quickly said, everyone, please calm down. Before the matter is investigated clearly, there's no need to do this. After a while, a few more powerhouses landed on the ground. Looking at the scene in the field, someone shouted, what are you doing? Are you rebelling? Zheng Minghong, Li Chongsheng, what are you doing? Do the pill company and MCMEU still have a sense of the big picture? All of you go in and sit down. Since it's happened, let's investigate. Investigate clearly. Fighting at the drop of a hat. Has your brain been damaged from practicing martial arts? The few people who came later included the Deputy Minister of the Education Department and the Deputy Minister of the Department of Investigation Services. There were rank 8s and rank 7s. A few of them looked dissatisfied. The matter had not even started to investigate, and they had just started to talk, and now they wanted to fight. Did these people really think that there were no rules? Zheng Minghong did not say a word. Old Man Li did not say a word either. The others were still trying to persuade them to make peace. Seeing this, Fong Ping walked out of the hall, looked at the crowd and said, Dear Grandmasters, the moment Sujin came, he did not ask for right or wrong, and used his rank 8 aura as he pleased. I'm seriously injured now. CEO Zheng is a rank 8, and I'm a rank 5. Do you want to silence me? Or do you think that I, Fong Ping, am weak and can do whatever you want? If Sino Nation still has laws and regulations, don't tell me there's no explanation for this matter. If no one upholds justice for me, will CEO Zheng kill me if he wants to? Have I, Fong Ping, wronged Sino Nation or betrayed humanity? Are the military department, the education department, and the Department of Investigation Services just going to let this happen? Are those with weak abilities destined to be sacrificed? If that's the case, what's the difference between a Sino Nation and a government like this and a cult? They might as well just kill all humans below high ranks and rely on the catacombs. Fong Ping Don't talk nonsense. Zhou Dingwa shouted softly, a hint of dissatisfaction on his face. Fong Ping raised his head and looked at him, saying in a low voice, Commander Zhou, did I say anything wrong? CEO Zheng attacked me the moment he came. He's talking about the contribution of the pill company, but does it mean that MCMU has no contribution as well? Let's not talk about the distant ones. Let's talk about the recent ones. The old vice-chancellor died in battle. Vice-Chancellor Liu was seriously injured. In Dean Li's situation that day, Commander Zhou knows better than anyone else. This is only the situation of a few grandmasters. Those middle and low-ranked instructors and students, which one of them did not shed blood and shed their lives? My MCMU school archives can no longer hold the memorial tablet. My Southern Area Cemetery can no longer bury skeletons. Contribution? Didn't contribute? You didn't even ask a question and attack me just like that. Are you bullying me because I'm too weak, or because I didn't contribute? Zheng Minghong's expression was ugly. He stared at him and said, Fong Ping, everyone here is watching whether I attack you or not. If I really attack you, do you think that Li Changsheng and the others can protect you? He had released his aura at the beginning only to put Fong Ping in his place. As for attacking him and silencing him, that was purely Fong Ping's nonsense. However, he did not expect the MCMAU crowd to react so fiercely. He was a rank 8 powerhouse reprimanding a junior. Under normal circumstances, it was not a big deal. Fong Ping did not say anything, but the flesh on his body suddenly collapsed. His face also began to crack. Fong Ping did not say anything either. He just stared at the other party. Zheng Minghong's expression instantly turned ugly. Zhou Dingwa frowned and said, Fong Ping. Fong Ping said lightly, in the previous battle, I was seriously injured and on the verge of death. Guardian Wu used the imperishable substance to keep my injuries from worsening. Does CEO Zheng not know that after I fight with a peak rank 6, I will definitely be seriously injured? I think that after CEO Zheng landed, with your rank 8 vision, you will be able to discover this. If that's the case, then I have reason to suspect that you want to kill me. A rank 8 and a seriously injured and dying rank 5. Even if it's just an aura, won't they kill me? Or does CEO Zheng think that a rank 8 needs to really attack a seriously injured rank 5 to be considered as wanting to kill? Zheng Minghong's expression was gloomy, but he did not say anything. The deputy minister from the Education Ministry was also familiar with Fong Ping. He was the one who hosted the previous Second Martial Arts University Championship. At this moment, seeing that Fong Ping's flesh had cracked all over and his arms had almost completely lost flesh, Minister Wang sighed softly and said, All right, Fong Ping. So Zheng was just angry in the moment. As he said that, Minister Wang's tone changed. He looked at Zheng Minghong and said, So Zheng, his injuries have worsened. Help him for a while. Everyone should calm down about what happened earlier. Zheng Minghong's expression changed slightly. Was he asking him to use the imperishable substance to help Fong Ping heal? After all, Minister Wang was from the Education Ministry. Martial arts universities also belong to the Education Ministry. Fong Ping was currently the #1 student in martial arts universities. It was completely understandable that Minister Wang would help Fong Ping. As soon as Minister Wang finished speaking, Zhou Dingwa also said, Stabilize his injuries first. Beside them, Minister Hu of the Detective Department also nodded slightly and said, So Zheng, I'll have to trouble you with this. He did not care about anything else. Zheng Minghong had nothing better to do. He just had to intimidate Fong Ping. If MCMU did not care about this, it was actually not a big deal. It was not like he had really hurt Fong Ping. A rank 8 powerhouse exuding some pressure on a rank 5 martial artist. If they were on good terms, it could be seen as a test of a junior's strength, or simply a joke. People like Huang Jing often press Fong Ping to the ground, which was much more serious than what he was doing now. However, the point was that both parties were not on good terms, and their relationship had even deteriorated. It was not that Fong Ping did not have people on his side, and he was not afraid of Zheng Minghong. At this time, if Zheng Minghong did not pay a price to settle this matter, it would be difficult to continue the discussion. The other grandmasters were silent. Zheng Minghong had probably been a CEO for too long. He had long forgotten that that not everyone was his subordinate when it came to the pill company. The rank 5 of the pill company trembled with fear when they saw him. If it were a rank 5, or even if he had pressured Wang Jinyang, there was a high probability that nothing would happen. Even if he had suffered a small loss, Wang Jinyang had to admit it. However, he just had to find Fang Ping. Everyone knew that Fang Ping had saved Li Chongqing's life. If Zheng Minghong really dared to hurt Fang Ping, Li Chongqing would not let it go easily. Although Li Chongqing was ranked last on the list, and everyone knew that he was not a true rank 8. However, if Zheng Minghong really thought that he could win Li Chongqing, then he was probably thinking too much. Li Chongqing was not too far away from rank 8. He had even slashed a rank 8 with his sword before. In a life-and-death battle, could Zheng Minghong, a rank 8 who had not entered the catacombs for many years, really survive in a life-and-death battle? Of course, there were still powerhouses from various tribes here. Both of them would not really fight. However, the atmosphere was so tense that it was not a good thing either. Zheng Minghong's expression was ugly. He admitted that he had been a little off track in the beginning. In his opinion, a rank 8 intimidating a rank 5 was really nothing. He did not do anything to Fang Ping. What was wrong with releasing some pressure? However, on MCMU's side, the reaction was too intense. Not only MCMU, but Zheng Minghong also glanced at Qin Yaoting at the side from the corner of his eye. Why did this old man get involved too? SCMU's vice-chancellor was a peak rank 7 existence, only one step away from rank 8. The key was this old man had a divine weapon. Yes, Qin Yaoting was known as the first rank 7 in Sino Nation. It was not only because his cultivation was very close to rank 8. The key was that he had a divine weapon. A divine weapon that was even stronger than Zhou Jingyang's. Zhou Jingyang was also a peak rank 7 with a divine weapon. However, according to the previous ranking, Zhou Jingyang was actually not as good as Qin Yaoting. Although Zheng Minghong was a golden body powerhouse, it was hard to say who would win if he went up against Qin Yaoting. Now, Li Chongqing was also eyeing him. This made Zheng Minghong's heart extremely sullen. Since when did a rank 8 have to bow down to a rank 5? Just as Zheng Minghong was still thinking about this, the golden glow of Fang Ping's bones suddenly dimmed. Then, he went limp on the ground. His internal organs started to shatter visibly. Zheng Minghong's expression changed drastically. He was seriously injured and on the verge of death. He really felt that he had been wronged to the extreme. Beside him, Li Chongqing shouted angrily, "Quick, I don't have imperishable substances. You guys save him quickly. If Fang Ping dies, I'll kill you." Huang Jing's expression was also ugly. He said in a low voice, "Xiao Zheng, you're so cruel to MCMU's people. As a grandmaster, ask yourself honestly, do you deserve the title?" "You guys." Beside him, Zhou Dinghua frowned, but did not say anything. His hands glowed with gold light, and he started to treat Fang Ping's ruptured internal organs. Minister Wang of the Education Ministry also started to act quickly. He could not let Fang Ping die. This situation did not seem right now. Actually, many people felt that something was wrong. Zheng Minghong's pressure was pushed back as soon as he released it. How did it become so serious? However, Fang Ping's injuries were really very, very serious. Among the people present, perhaps only a few people knew what was going on. Fang Ping's injuries were indeed very serious. He had been holding on all this while. Li Chongqing also knew that Fang Ping had been recovering a large amount of vitality to prevent his injuries from worsening. Zheng Minghong really did not hurt him. However, this kid had given up on using vitality to heal himself, allowing his injuries to worsen. As a result, his injuries were really very serious. This was not fake. Zheng Minghong had to admit it, even if he did not want to. Even if everyone knew that this was probably caused by the previous fight with the peak rank 6, who asked him to have nothing better to do. Why did he have to pressure others? A person who was alive and kicking just a moment ago was suddenly on the verge of death. If he did not take responsibility, who would? Zheng Minghong's expression was very conflicted. This time, he was really down on his luck. In this situation, if he still did not act, the two ministers would not keep using the imperishable substance to help. If Fang Ping really died, it would not be their responsibility. With so many grandmasters present, if something really happened to Fong Ping, Zheng Minghong would not be able to explain himself even if he had 10 mouths. In the next moment, Zheng Minghong's expression darkened. Without a word, he pressed his hand on Fong Ping's body. An array of gold light emitted. At this time, Zhou Dinghua and Wang Jing stopped. As for Fong Ping, he sensed Zheng Minghong's attack and quickly absorbed the imperishable substance to heal himself. When he saw that Zheng Minghong was about to stop, Fong Ping's internal organs suddenly ruptured again. Zheng Minghong almost vomited blood. Good, very good. Zheng Minghong felt that he had learned something new. After living for so many years, he was actually tricked by a rank 5 kid. He had been in a high position for many years, and the pill company did not have much competition. The company's subordinates were also very respectful to him. The provincial governors and martial arts universities, including the military department, were actually very polite to him in order to get more free pills. Zheng Minghong was not very shrewd. It was not that he did not have any tricks up his sleeve, but when he looked down on them, he really did not care too much about these middle and low-rank martial artists. This time, he was careless and was tricked by a 20-year-old young man. At this moment, Fong Ping's injuries were actually starting to improve. Flesh was growing on his bones again. But this kid, he did not heal himself, and his internal injuries were still worsening. The imperishable substance he absorbed all went into his bones. Therefore, in everyone's eyes, Fong Ping's injuries were still worsening. It was not an act, it was really worsening. It was difficult for Zheng Minghong to stop now. This scene made Wang Jinyang, who was watching from the side, feel a little jealous. People with backing were indeed different. If it were him, old Wang felt a little uncomfortable. If it were him, even if NMU's 2 peak rank SXS were here, he really did not have the confidence to face a rank 8 powerhouse. Not to mention tricking this rank 8, the suppression from before would probably be brushed off. Even if he did not, if they were at Fong Ping's level, Zheng Minghong would probably also stop. The imperishable substance was the foundation of a rank 8. No one would waste it. Zheng Minghong wanted to, but he had to at least make Fong Ping's injuries look less serious. Li Changsheng and the others were still glaring at him from the side. Zheng Minghong's face was full of anger. The other rank 8 powerhouse beside him, however, did not say a word. He was secretly glad that he did not step forward. This was the old CEO of the weapons company. Zheng Minghong wanted to take Fong Ping down a notch the moment he arrived. Actually, he was very happy to see it. This time, Fong Ping said that the martial artists who attacked him were from the 2 major companies. This matter really made them very angry. This kind of thing could not be taken lightly. Before coming, everyone had actually considered in their hearts that they must not be weak and compromise. At this time, if they were weak and looked guilty, that would be the real big trouble. Moreover, they knew what MCMU was planning. They also could not let MCMAU's conspiracy succeed. This was not just a matter of MCMAU alone, but a big change that involved the entire Sino nation. Now that the 2 major companies had taken a step back toward MCMAU, it might cause a chain reaction. MCMAU's matter was a small matter. The change in the entire situation was a big matter. Therefore, the 2 major companies' idea was to be strong to the end, never compromise. The main culprit was this kid Fong Ping's nonsense, framing the 2 companies. Deterring Fong Ping was the 2 major companies' idea. Zheng Minghong taking the first step was in line with the 2 major companies' interests, and also in line with their expectations. In the end, Zheng Minghong was tricked. At this moment, the weapons company's CEO felt that it was really not bad that he was 1 step behind. How could the imperishable substance be consumed like this? This time, Zheng Minghong would not be able to make up for it without half a year of cultivation. However, thinking about it, this kid Fong Ping was really bold. By tricking Zheng Minghong like this, he had really offended him. Thinking about it again, it seemed like he had already offended him enough. Thinking about it this way, the weapons company CEO suddenly felt that this kid could only profit, not lose. Chapter 419. The Admiral's Office. After a while, Zheng Minghong stopped. Fong Ping was about to continue rupturing his internal organs when Old Man Li, who was beside him, kicked him without batting an eyelid. That's enough. Even if your internal organs were crushed, no, your head was crushed, they wouldn't work for you anymore. In just a short while, Zheng Minghong had infused quite a lot of imperishable substance. It was comparable to the amount that Wu Quishan had infused to save Lu Fengru. Without a year and a half of cultivation, he would not be able to make up for it. Of course, Zheng Minghong rarely went to the catacombs in recent years. Old Manly did not think it was a big deal. Seeing this, Fong Ping did not waste any time. Very quickly, he crawled up from the ground and said with a respectful expression, "Thank you, ministers, for saving my life. Thank you, CEO Zheng, for forgetting our past enmity and protecting me. It is precisely because of the selfless contributions of the grandmasters that martial arts can prosper in Sino Nation. It is also because of the selfless contributions of the grandmasters that martial artists of the younger generation have the motivation to keep moving forward. Rather than thanking him, he might as well not thank him." The two ministers smiled and nodded slightly. The more Zheng Minghong listened, the more upset he felt. He couldn't be bothered to pay attention to him. "Why didn't you say that earlier?" Zheng Minghong didn't say a word. He walked to the side and sat down, pretending that nothing had happened. Now, no matter how polite Fong Ping was, he would not take it seriously. After walking to the roofless hall and sitting down, Zheng Minghong asked, "Is Guardian Wu not here?" Commander Bai glanced at him. Seeing that both parties were no longer fighting, he said in a low voice, "The Guardian has gone to Jiang City. Please wait a moment." Rivertown, Zheng Minghong was deep in thought. It didn't seem to be anything good. While he was thinking, Fong Ping had set up a mentality barrier and was discussing with the people from MCMU softly. "Teacher, if there's really something wrong with Zhao Yu later, then we'll keep a close eye on the two companies. At the very least, sell your shares." Huang Jing frowned slightly. What if Zhao Yu is fine? No problem, but he couldn't just randomly frame them. Huang Jing did not approve of this either. The bottom line should still be upheld. Fong Ping laughed. "Naturally, I hope it's fake. If it's fake, then it's fine. It's better to make things clear than not. But if it's true, then you can't just dismiss us with a few words." At that time, he could just casually say, "This is a personal matter. Teachers, please don't let it go just like that. If we don't sell the shares in our hands, we'll have offended them again. If we want to use these shares to gain benefits, it'll be impossible. Anyway, they know our motive. Anyway, if there's a problem with Zhao Yu, we'll drag the two big companies down with us. This is their problem, so they have to take responsibility for it." Huang Jing took a light breath and said in a low voice, "If there's really something wrong with Zhao Yu, then naturally they won't let it go just like that. But let me remind you, if there isn't, then this matter will end here. You have to understand, the two major companies are involved in many things." "I know." Fong Ping nodded. Then he dispersed the mentality barrier. Zheng Minghong, who was opposite him, gave him a sideways glance, but said nothing. But soon, Zheng Minghong could not take it anymore. Fong Ping, who had stopped talking, was focused on recovering from his injuries. This was not the key point. The key point was that this kid's golden bones suddenly emitted a lot of golden radiance and started to grow flesh and blood. Zheng Minghong was so angry that he wanted to vomit blood. These imperishable substances were his. Fong Ping, this bastard. As expected, he did not use these to recover just now. Instead, he stored them in his golden bones. Most martial artists would not be able to store these things. But Fong Ping had golden bones, golden bones. Zheng Minghong was almost muddle-headed from anger. Only now did he care about the main point. This kid actually had rank 8 golden bones. Zheng Minghong's expression was getting uglier. This kid was not a golden body yet. If he had become one, he would turn the pill company upside down. As he was thinking about this, everyone in the concourse suddenly looked outside the house. Wu Chuan and the others landed from the sky, directly into the concourse. Wu Chuan swept a glance at the roof that had been flipped over. He frowned slightly and glanced at everyone. Old Manly pretended not to see it. He did not care about those things at that time. Wu Chuan did not say much either. He could guess what had happened. At this moment, Wu Chuan was holding two people in his hands. One of them looked deathly pale and severely injured, while the other looked calm, nothing out of the ordinary. Behind them, Wu Quishan landed. He had also brought someone along, Zhang Dingnan. The incident happened in Nanjiang. Zhang Dingnan had wanted to come a long time ago. Unfortunately, his injuries were not light, and he could not make it. These two went to River City to arrest people. Naturally, they had to inform him so that Nanjiang could cooperate with the investigation. Zhang Dingnan got a free ride and came along with them. As soon as they landed, Fang Ping hurriedly asked Wang Jinyang in a low voice, "Who's injured?" "Lu He." Fang Ping raised his eyebrows slightly. Being injured at this time actually meant many things. However, Zhao Yu looked calm. Although Fang Ping felt that a peak rank 6 powerhouse was very important to Nanjiang, it would be best if he was not an evil disciple. However, compared to the two of them, if there was really an evil disciple, Fang Ping felt that Zhao Yu was more in line with his own interests. However, from the looks of it, Zhao Yu was safe and sound. Wu Chuan also did not make a move on him. This meant that the other party's identity had not been confirmed yet. Fang Ping felt that something was not right. Zheng Minghong could not help but frown. Wu Chuan brought 2 people. One of them was injured. As a guardian, Wu Chuan would not make a move on someone without evidence. And if something happened to one person, it meant that the probability of something happening to the other person who was also brought was not low. As for Zhao Yu, it was impossible that he did not know him. That was the person in charge of the pill company in Nanjiang. Peak rank 6. In the pill company, he was also one of the higher-ups. If there was really a problem, Zheng Minghong felt a little uneasy. If something happened to Zhao Yu, the problem would be serious. Zhao Yu was in charge of everything in Nanjiang's pill company. Although he did not master some core pill manufacturing techniques, including the most core secret pill recipes, the other party knew a lot of things. If Zhao Yu leaked it, Zheng Minghong's expression did not change, but he was a little nervous inside. Beside him, the expression of the weapons company's CEO was slightly better. Fortunately, he did not see anyone from his company. However, the pill company and the weapons company could actually be seen as one. If something happened to the pill company, the weapons company would definitely be implicated. Actually, many of the higher-ups of both companies had also taken turns to hold positions in the 2 major companies. Wu Chuan did not care what everyone thought. He said as soon as he landed, Upright Sun Martial Arts Dojo's Lu He tried to resist and escape when Nanjiang asked for assistance in the investigation. "I injured him." He did not make a move as soon as he arrived in Nanjiang. Instead, he invited these 2 people to assist in the investigation through the Nanjiang House of Governors. In the end, the 2 directors of Nanjiang's Department of Investigation Services brought people to ask Lu He to cooperate in the investigation. Lu He started to fight back. This time, Wu Chuan felt that there was no escape. There was really something wrong with this guy. As for the 2 people that needed to be investigated, if one of them had a problem, his words would no longer be conjectures, nor would they be lies. Right now, the key was Zhao Yu. If there was something wrong with Zhao Yu, his situation would be much more serious than Lu He's. The injured Lu He's breathing was weak. After hearing what was said, he explained, "Guardian, I had no intention of resisting the law. I just wanted to explain something. Now that Upright Sun Martial Arts Dojo is in chaos because of Director Zhou's death. Who knew that Director Xiao would not give me a chance to explain it all and forcefully detain me?" Wu Chuan turned a deaf ear to him. Along the way, Lu He had explained a lot, but he pretended that he did not hear anything. He had already observed everything that had transpired in the dark. Zhao Yu, on the other hand, remained calm. He glanced at Zheng Minghong, bowed slightly and said, "CEO, Zheng." Zheng Minghong looked at him. Zhao Yu said in a low voice, "Right and wrong, there will be justice. Whether Zhao Yu is an evil sect member or not, if he can withstand the investigation, the truth will come to light." Zheng Minghong did not say much. Sometimes, before there was a result, one should not make promises easily. He still understood this point. He was full of confidence now, but if there was a problem, he would be slapping his own face. Zhang Dingnan said, "The Department of Investigation Services and Nanjiang's House of Governors are conducting a thorough investigation. CEO Zheng, there are people checking the accounts and sales records of Nanjiang's pill subsidiary company. I hope you can understand." Zheng Minghong nodded slightly and said, "Governor General Zhang, just follow the rules." This matter had to be investigated now. It involved the betrayal of the higher-ups and could be infiltrated by the evil sect members. They had to be cautious. Hearing Zhang Dingnan's words, Fong Ping frowned slightly. If that was the case, they had to continue investigating? How long would that take? After thinking for a while, Fong Ping said, "Governor General, don't the evil sect members have any special characteristics?" Zhang Dingnan was a little speechless, but he still explained, "They're all martial artists." "Do you think they would print the words evil sect member on their faces?" Fong Ping's question made people speechless. This was not a television show. The evil sect members could not wait to hide their identities. Who would be stupid enough to put a symbol on their bodies? Hearing that, Fong Ping looked at Wu Chuan. Wu Chuan said, "Just wait. Whether it's true or not, there will be clues." Wu Chuan was in no hurry. If Zhao Yu was really an evil sect member, they would find out. The power of the government was stronger than Fong Ping imagined. They had a target. They had captured the person. If they continued investigating, there would be results. Fong Ping exhaled. After thinking for a while, he said, "Guardian Wu, this is too much of a waste of time. I think we can make it simpler." Wu Chuan glanced at him with a half-smile and said lightly, "Speak." "Lu He, there should be a problem," the injured Lu He said hurriedly. "Grandmasters, believe me." Before he could finish, Wu Chuan's mentality moved, suppressing him so that he could not speak. "CEO Zhao, if you're an evil sect member, I'm saying if..." "CEO Zhao, you won't mind if I make a hypothesis, right?" Zhao Yu said in a low voice, "Of course not. Now that I'm a suspect, forget about a hypothesis. Even if you really want to detain me, it's only right." CEO Zhao is righteous. Fong Ping flattered him and said, "If CEO Zhao is a member of the evil sect, then there are only two possibilities. One, he's a fanatic of the evil sect, the kind that was cultivated since young and deliberately entered the pill company. He believes in the evil sect's ideology and did not hesitate to infiltrate the pill company. Two, he joined halfway and was bewitched and bribed by the evil sect." Everyone nodded, but this was nonsense. Fong Ping said again, "If it's the second possibility, it's really not easy to bribe someone like CEO Zhao. Peak rank 6. Of course, CEO Zhao might not have this ability in the beginning. He might have been bribed when he was still weak. CEO Zheng, has there been a time when CEO Zhao's martial arts realm advanced by leaps and bounds? For example, when it's beyond his ability, when his martial arts realm advanced extremely fast." Zheng Minghong frowned. After a while, he said, "I don't think so." "CEO Zheng, are you sure?" Zheng Minghong humphed. "Zhao Yu is a peak rank 6 martial artist. Even in the pill company, there aren't many of them." "Of course I know. Then I'll just cultivate step by step," Yi Futian said. Fong Ping rubbed his chin and said, "Cultivating step by step until this stage, there's no benefit to speak of. Since he joined the evil sect halfway, he must have an ulterior motive. Since it's not at any other time, then it must be to break through to a higher rank?" Fong Ping laughed. "The one I killed previously hated CEO Zhao to the core. I think there's more to it than just a grudge between the two. It might be a fight for a high-rank cultivation quota. In other words, CEO Zhao also really wants to break through to a higher rank. Only the temptation of breaking through to a higher rank would cause a peak rank 6 powerhouse to fall into the evil path." Zhao Yu said in a low voice, "There's no one who doesn't want to break through to Grandmaster. Naturally, I hope so too. However, I have my own bottom line. President Fong, you can't make such an arbitrary judgment just because I'm a peak rank 6 martial artist." Fong Ping laughed. "That's for sure. This is nothing. Actually, I also want to break through to Grandmaster." Fong Ping said again, "Then let's talk about the first possibility first. CEO Zhao is a fanatic who was raised from a young age. Actually, this kind of fanatic is the easiest to distinguish." Fong Ping said gleefully, "I heard that fanatics agree with the evil sect's ideology very much. They treat the Pope and the true gods as their ancestors. That's what they say." Wu Chuan nodded. "That's true. Then it's simple. If Grandmasters don't mind, I'll give the evil sect's pope and the true gods a good scolding now. Grandmasters, release your mentality and observe CEO Zhao's psychological fluctuations. I think that if he really is an evil sect member, even if a martial artist mentality is extremely strong, faced with this kind of situation, he will more or less have some fluctuations. As soon as he said that, everyone was slightly stunned. Truth be told, in recent years, there had been many evil sect members who had been arrested. However, they were either caught red-handed or under suspicion, secretly investigating to find evidence. Very few people would do what Fang Ping did. Before there was conclusive evidence, people like Zhao Yu would not be arrested. This time, it was also because Fang Ping's words were so convincing that the matter was not small. That was why they arrested the other party, without any evidence. Wu Chuan pondered slightly. What Fang Ping said was not very appropriate, but it might not be useless. The Department of Investigation Services and the military department had never considered this kind of interrogation method before. Maybe it could be adopted. All right, you try. When Fang Ping heard that, he did not hold back and immediately scolded. Your bullsh *T divine sex pope is a pile of *T. What bullsh *T? #yen%. Fang Ping started scolding. The scolding went on for a long time without repeating himself. After scolding the Pope, he scolded the true gods. After scolding the true gods, he scolded their bullsh *T ideals. This was the first time someone had scolded for more than 10 minutes in front of close to 20 Grandmaster powerhouses. All the Grandmasters released their mentality, observing the emotional fluctuations of the two people in the hall. Under the observation of so many Grandmasters, it was very difficult for middle and low-ranked martial artists to hide their emotional changes. On the ground, Lu He's face was flushed, yet he could not open his mouth. Everyone could also feel his anger, resentment. At this point, Lu He actually did not need to hide it anymore. Wu Chuan did not even give him a chance to speak. There was almost no chance for him to escape this. Sensing this change, Wu Chuan frowned slightly. Although listening to Fang Ping's scold made the roots of his ears itch, the effect was still somewhat. After more than 10 minutes, Fang Ping was also tired of scolding. Zheng Minghong breathed a sigh of relief and said, Zhao Yu's emotions did not fluctuate. Fang Ping laughed. This can only prove that CEO Zhao is not a fanatic. Some people are egoists who only believe in themselves. Who cares about the Pope? However, we can rule out the possibility that CEO Zhao is a fanatic who was raised since young. As for the second possibility, the possibility that he joined midway has not been ruled out. Fang Ping said again, if he joined midway, CEO Zhao would not have joined when he was weak. Otherwise, there would be some traces left. CEO Zhao entered the pill company. In order for him to enter the upper management as soon as possible, I think the evil sect invested in CEO Zhao. CEO Zheng. How long has CEO Zhao worked in the pill company? Zheng Minghong thought for a while. Suddenly, he took out his phone and made a call. After a while, he hung up and said, 34 years. After such a long time, he only became the provincial CEO of the pill company. I think the probability of him joining the evil sect when he was weak is not high. It is more likely that after he entered rank 6 or even peak rank 6, CEO Zhao was tempted because he could not go further. Otherwise, with CEO Zhao's position and identity, it should be enough to satisfy his daily cultivation needs. Zheng Minghong nodded. Of course. With Zhao Yu's identity and a member of the pill company, he would definitely not be unable to satisfy his own cultivation needs. Fang Ping laughed. CEO Zheng, you are confident in this. There are many people in martial arts universities who do not have enough for their own needs. Zheng Minghong's expression darkened. He was just explaining that the possibility of Zhao Yu betraying him was not high. It was impossible to lure Zhao Yu to join the evil sect unless the evil sect agreed to help him achieve rank 7. Fang Ping asked again, how long has CEO Zhao been in peak rank 6? 8 years. Zheng Minghong knew this very well. 8 years. He hasn't even reached the stage of mentality-vitality fusion. This means that stepping into rank 7 is very, very difficult. I don't know how many more 8 years it will take. At this time, to become a high-ranked powerhouse, it is understandable that he would do something. Fong Ping, you need evidence to speak. Are all peak rank 6 tempted? Fong Ping laughed. That's not it. I want to ask CEO Zhao. Is your vitality complete? Zhao Yu frowned slightly and nodded. Complete. What about mentality? It's average. That means that what CEO Zhao needs is not vitality resources, but treasures that can increase mentality. These things are too difficult to obtain. Fong Ping lamented. If I want you to become a high-ranked, or even achieve mentality-vitality fusion, then I must use these things to tempt you. A rank 6 powerhouse cannot be tempted with a few empty words. There must be practical benefits, visible benefits. CEO Zhao, let me ask you again. All these years, have you obtained any treasures that can increase mentality? If you have, where did you get it? Can you tell me in detail? Zhao Yu shook his head. No, this thing was not cabbage. How could it be obtained so easily? Fong Ping heard that and suddenly laughed. Everyone here, has anyone obtained this kind of treasure before or consumed it? Everyone looked at each other. After a while, they all shook their heads. This thing, no one had used it before. Then, do you know that treasures like this, even if they're consumed and digested, there will still be some aura left in the body? As soon as he said that, Zhao Yu's gaze flickered slightly. Fong Ping did not mind. He looked at Li Chongsheng and smiled. Dean Li, you've consumed the energy essence before. Even now, there are still remnants of the life force aura. Old man Li thought for a while, but still said, the time I consumed it was too short. Fong Ping shook his head. No matter how long the time, there will be. This point is actually very easy to detect. It's just that everyone usually doesn't pay much attention to it. CEO Zhao said that he has not consumed any treasures that can increase mentality. According to my judgment, if he relied on the evil sect to break through to high-ranked, then the evil sect must have taken out some treasures that moved him. The evil sect must have taken out treasures that moved him. To CEO Zhao, what is difficult to obtain? Only treasures that can increase mentality. For a powerhouse who desires to break through to rank 7, no one can resist using this kind of thing, right? CEO Zhao will not believe the other party without any proof. At the very least, the other party must throw out some bait for CEO Zhao to take the bait. If CEO Zhao has consumed it, there will definitely be remnants of aura. He cannot sense the remnants of aura in mentality, but the Grandmasters can. Now, I want all the Grandmasters to start investigating carefully with this as a goal. If there are no remnants of special aura, it means that my previous judgment was wrong. We can only wait for the next inspection. If there are, before he could finish speaking, Zhao Yu suddenly said, these years, I have entered the catacombs many times. I have consumed many herbs and unknown energy fruits. I don't know if there are any treasures that can increase mentality. After all, my mentality can't be released externally, so the feeling of my mentality increasing is not too obvious. As he said that, Zhao Yu said again, I think this point can't be used as proof of your guess. Fong Ping suddenly laughed, saying playfully, Fei. At the moment I mentioned it, CEO Zhao said that he might have eaten this before. Are these things that can increase mentality like cabbages now? Everywhere? Also, if there really is such a treasure, I think even if it is not obvious, martial artists will have a clear sense of the changes in their bodies. Zhao Yu said in a low voice, I'm just guessing. I haven't confirmed if I have consumed it before. Fong Ping laughed. That makes sense. Of course, I believe CEO Zhao. I can't say for sure if other people believe me. Fong Ping looked at Zheng Minghong with a smile. CEO Zheng, do you believe me? Zheng Minghong kept a straight face and said nothing. Zhao Yu's suspicion was growing. As for Fong Ping, he suddenly laughed. Actually, there are many ways to prove it. Since the evil sect has given benefits, they must have something in return. For example, some of the pill companies' secret prescriptions and techniques. Has this happened to the evil sect recently? For example, did they carry more pills with them? Especially in this area of Nanjiang. We can investigate through the Department of Investigation Services and the Military Department to see if there are any changes in the evil sect members that have been eliminated recently. Of course, this cannot prove anything clearly. It's okay. We can investigate this slowly. Whether it's true or not, we will know sooner or later. Including the fact that CEO Zhao said that he has consumed many unknown herbs and energy fruits. Describe them one by one. We could follow the picture and see if there is anything that can increase mentality. Also, where did he get it? Some things are not available in every catacombs. CEO Zhao has records of which catacombs he entered and how long he stayed. If the evil sect provided something that can increase mentality, CEO Zhao can describe it clearly. But CEO Zhao must be careful not to say the wrong place of origin. This thing is very rare. It really can't be found everywhere. You're only a rank 6. You don't know much. However, a rank 9 powerhouse is experienced and knowledgeable. I think Guardian Wu generally knows some of the catacomb specialties, especially this kind of thing that can increase mentality. Guardian Wu, right? Wu Chuan darted him a look and nodded lightly. He was not lying. Some people might not understand this thing, but a rank 9 would. Zhao Yu's expression did not change, but Wu Chuan kept staring at him. Some changes in his emotions could be felt. Sighing softly in his heart, Wu Chuan did not say anything. If he continued investigating, there would be results sooner or later. This matter would not be brushed off so easily. As for the aura remnant that Fong Ping mentioned, all right, Wu Chuan could tell everyone honestly that it was fake. What bullsh** T logic? After a long time, it would dissipate long ago. Where would the remnant come from? However, most people did not know much about this. Forget about Zhao Yu. Even rank 8 martial artists did not know much, because everyone had not consumed it before. As for those that had especially treasures that could increase mentality, Zhao Yu did not know and could not sense it before he could externalize his mentality. It was obvious that Fong Ping was bluffing. However, Fong Ping's bluff sounded like it was real. Wu Chuan dared to conclude that there were many grandmasters present who believed what he said. Perhaps only a few of them had some doubts. As for Zhao Yu, the probability of him being bribed was very high now. Wu Chuan did not expose Fong Ping either. Using this method, he might be able to bluff a little more. Zheng Minghong had also noticed some changes in Zhao Yu. At this moment, Zheng Minghong's expression changed slightly, looking very unpleasant. Chapter 420. Fong Ping did not have to immediately prove that Zhao Yu was indeed a member of the evil sect. Of the two people he mentioned, one had already been confirmed, and the other was now a huge suspect. At this time, it was best to be half-hidden. Fong Ping spoke for a while and did not continue. Zheng Minghong took a deep breath and said in a low voice, "We will cooperate with the departments to investigate this matter to the end. If the evidence is conclusive, we will not tolerate it." Fong Ping said faintly, "So, Zheng, I only mentioned one possibility. What if these two are actually not members of the evil sect? Including the few from before." Everyone frowned immediately. Fong Ping said mildly, "I think it is necessary to make some reasonable assumptions and suspicions. If, and I'm saying if, these people are actually not members of the evil sect. Sometimes, the title of evil sect can easily be used as a scapegoat. Are Lu He's family and friends, including himself, related to the two major companies?" "Zheng, don't be hasty." Seeing that Zheng Minghong was about to speak, Fong Ping said with a smile, "I'm just making a guess under reasonable circumstances. Including the last time in Auspicious Peace, there was a director of the Catacombs Intelligence Department. What's his name again? I think it is necessary to investigate thoroughly if he is related to the two major companies. Because that person is also looking for trouble with me, insisting on detaining me to Capital City for dissection." "Fong Ping," Zheng Minghong shouted, "Nonsense. Who said I want to dissect you? I'm just cooperating with the investigation." Fong Ping said faintly, "Has the Catacombs Intelligence Department started sharing information with the pill company? Is the pill company a pill manufacturing enterprise or an intelligence agency? Can such an important secret be disclosed to the public so easily? Although I'm not an important person, the last time I wanted to investigate was the vital breath control technique. Even CEO Zheng knows about this? In that case, can I assume that Chief Zheng knows more about the intelligence department than any other department? Zheng Minghong's expression changed again and again. What kind of bullshit *T secret was this? He was not the only one who knew about this. Many people? However, some things were known. Fong Ping was right. This was the intelligence department's secret. Logically speaking, he should not know. However, Zheng Minghong felt wronged. If he did not believe it, he could ask the grandmasters present. How many of them did not know? Even though he had offended some people, he was not going to take the blame. Zheng Minghong said solemnly. The people who know about this matter are definitely not just me. Zheng Minghong. As high-rank martial artists, there are some things that we want to understand. The government won't hide it from us on purpose either. Aura control is a big deal. Fong Ping interrupted. I just want to ask, where did Zheng find out about this? That should be fine, right? Who told you that? Since you know about it, then it must be someone related who told you. I think I won't tell you. And MCMU's insiders won't tell you either. In other words, the news came from the intelligence department. How do I put this? This matter can be big or small. It doesn't matter to me, since it doesn't matter if everyone knows about it. But if they dare to leak this today, they will dare to leak even more advanced information in the future. Guardian Wu, I think this matter is more serious than the matter of the cultists. Fong Ping was overjoyed. Zheng Minghong had taken the bait too easily. Zheng Minghong's expression changed again and again. The other evolved Jing masters all felt that they should shut up immediately. Damn it, there were quite a lot of people who knew about this. Even if others didn't say it, Zhang Dingnan knew it clearly. Of course, Zhang Dingnan could explain that he already knew about it in the catacombs. As for the others, everyone actually had their own sources of information. It was not strange to know some things, but now they could not say that they knew. If they knew, they would have to explain how they knew. Some people knew it from their friends. If they said it, they would be betraying their friends. Maybe the government would not do anything to these high-ranked people. But some of the higher-ups in the intelligence department might have a big change. Wu Chuan's expression was also very solemn. Zhou Dinghua even shouted, Zheng Minghong, is the intelligence department's business something you can freely participate in? Zheng Minghong said in a muffled voice, Commander Zhou, the intelligence department shared some catacombs information with us. The government allowed it. Zhou Dinghua said coldly, does that include other unrelated information? Is Fong Ping's matter related to this? He was there last time. He also heard what Fong Ping said to Shueba and Wang Ying in the end. But at that time, Fong Ping was talking to himself, so he could say whatever he wanted. But now, Zheng Minghong confessed without being pressed. Some rules still had to be followed. If you did it and did not say it, everyone knew it in their hearts, so it was nothing. Many people knew that Fong Ping was asked to cooperate with the investigation. But according to the law, this was not allowed. Since there was still a government in human society and organizations still existed, then they had to follow the rules unless they could already ignore these rules. Some people could, some could not. At least, Zheng Minghong was not qualified yet. Even Wu Chuan was a step away from this step. He also had to follow the rules. Zheng Minghong was silent for a moment, then said, I will give everyone an explanation for this matter. Fong Ping said softly, so Zheng is so concerned about my every move. You even know if I'm cooperating with the investigation or dissecting. Fong Ping is terrified. I'm only rank 5. You're a rank 8 golden body powerhouse. Honestly, I'm really a little flattered. Since you know me so well, then it's not a big secret that I left MCMAU and returned to Sun City. When I left MCMAU this time, very few people knew about it. When I returned to Sun City, I also lived in seclusion. If they didn't pay special attention, who would know that I, Fong Ping, had returned? Zheng Minghong said coldly, Fong Ping, your reputation is not small. Don't be humble. Is it something difficult to guess that you returned to Sun City for the new year? Do you think that the evil sect martial artists wanted to kill you without knowing this? Fong Ping laughed. That's true. If that's the case, it shouldn't be so. Zheng who leaked the news. Do you know the consequences of wantonly framing a rank 8 martial artist? Zheng Minghong said coldly, I'm not threatening you. I'm just stating the facts. If everyone can spread rumors at will, then who would have the mood to continue cultivating and fighting when everyone is in a state of panic? Fong Ping shook his head. CEO Zheng, you're thinking too much. I never speak nonsense without evidence. I suspect CEO Zheng. Is there no evidence? It's hard to say what happened to CEO Zhao now. Also, I'll be frank. Ever since MCMAU's 10 high grandmasters went to Capital City and obtained the expansion rights, there has been a dispute between us. Benefits move people's hearts. Am I suspecting you without reason? I admit that I was the one who begged the vice-chancellor to fight for it. CEO Zheng, tell me, do you know that I did it? Now that Guardian Wu and the rest are here, do you dare to say that you don't know? I know. Since you know, then did MCMU's actions affect the pill company's interests? Now that I suspect that you want to attack me and put me to death, am I speaking nonsense? In this matter, people from the pill company are involved. President Fong, I'm not a member of the evil sect. Before Zhao Yu could finish, Fong Ping turned around and shouted, You shut up. Whether it's true or not, I know better than you. If you're not a member of the evil sect, then it's even scarier. Since you're not a member of the evil sect, then it means that the pill company has already disregarded the bottom line, disregarded the rules, and directly attacked me. If you're a member of the evil sect, then it means that most of the people in the pill company are innocent and unaware. But if you're not, humph. Zhao Yu's expression darkened instantly. Wu Chuan suddenly waved his hand and shouted, Take them out. The next moment, a few people from the House of Guardians walked in from outside the door and took the two of them away. Zheng Minghong's expression changed again. Wu Chuan obviously believed that there was something wrong with Zhao Yu. Fong Ping looked at Zheng Minghong and continued, So, do you think that Zhao Yu is a member of the evil sect? Zheng Minghong said coldly, What's the use of my thinking? We'll know when we find out. He had just been tricked once. This time he would not fall for it again. Fong Ping laughed. That's true. Then we can wait. Wait until we find out. Once this matter is investigated, the two major companies must give me an explanation. I'm nothing. It doesn't matter even if I die. But this is not my personal matter. Today, they attacked me and my family. Which powerhouse doesn't have a few family and friends? If they dare to kill me today, they will naturally dare to kill others in the future. It's not like no one knows that I was attacked. The entire Sun City saw it. 3 rank SIXS. That's a big move. There are even 2 peak rank SIXS hiding behind them. 5 rank SIXS. 3 of them are peak. What a big move. Cough, cough. The weapons company's CEO coughed softly and said lightly, This matter has nothing to do with us. What a joke. Fong Ping actually mentioned the 2 major companies. Motherf Asterisk Kerr. Could he see clearly which side Zhao Yu was on? Fong Ping bowed and apologized. My apologies for my slip of the tongue. However, our school's weapons production line has also expanded. CEO Sun, I believe that you're not that kind of person. However, there's no guarantee that some evil sect members might have infiltrated the weapons company. Is this an unwarranted suspicion? The weapons company CEO replied lightly. He did not have anything on him. Some things were not up to Fong Ping to decide. Fong Ping bowed again and said, Then I'll apologize to CEO Sunday. However, it said that the 2 major companies are not separated. Now, it seems that the weapons company and the pill company are not one. CEO Sun's expression changed slightly. Sometimes being on the same side was the source of their confidence. There was no way he could admit this. If they were not one, then it meant that he had to draw a clear line with the pill company. However, he glanced at Zheng Minghong and saw him nod slightly. CEO Sun smiled faintly and said, Of course they're one. The pill and weapons companies are both owned by the government. Are you, Fong Ping, thinking of separating the 2 major companies from the government? Fong Ping smiled. Then, our martial arts university and the 2 major companies are one. Since we're all one, then I think it's only natural that we continue to expand the production line, including selling pills and weapons to the public. Do you think that changing the concept is the right for you, Fong Ping, to pester endlessly? CEO Sun smiled faintly. You said that we're one. I don't deny that humans are one. However, there's a clear division of labor. and everyone has their own duties. This is also the guarantee of order. Fong Ping, are martial arts universities going to replace the government's functions? Fong Ping raises eyebrows. Old Sun was very difficult to deal with. Without any evidence on the weapons company, it was indeed difficult to negotiate. Fong Ping did not continue and immediately changed the topic. If there's a problem with Zhao Yu, I suggest that we investigate the pill company. Zhao Yu is the Nanjiang branch's CEO. This is a matter of great importance. We cannot ignore it. That's the government's responsibility. Zheng Minghong replied coldly. Fong Ping smiled. Yes, you're right. But I'm the victim, the person involved. Shouldn't I voice my opinion? I've yet to recover from my serious injuries. You've helped me heal just now, so you should know how long it'll take for me to recover. Moreover, without imperishable substances, I might not be able to recover. It's not just me. NMU's Wang Jinyang is also seriously injured and on the verge of death. Although both of us are weak and might not be able to represent the entire martial arts university, you've also said that I'm somewhat famous. Shouldn't you give me a reasonable explanation and compensation? If the evil sect attacked me, I suggest that the government completely annihilate the evil sect. They can kill me in public today, but what about tomorrow? Can martial artists like us really not worry about the government and the safety of our families? When we enter the catacombs, who will protect our families? When our confidence is shaken, who will pay for everything? Now, traces of the evil sect members have appeared in the pill company. Why can't I investigate it thoroughly? Your family is safe and sound. As a rank 8 powerhouse, you can ignore all of this. What about me? Do I deserve to die? Isn't it right to investigate to the end? Wu Quishan said lightly, I think it should be investigated. Moreover, it should be a joint investigation by all departments, not self-investigation and self-correction. Zheng Minghong's expression was extremely ugly. Here came the main point. As a company with assets of more than 10 trillion, a thorough investigation. Putting aside the evil sect, there would always be some problems. An 80-year-old company, one that was monopolistic and profiteering. How could there be no problems at all? No one dared to say this. Zheng Minghong suppressed the irritation in his heart and said coldly, This is not MCMU's authority. As a rank 8 martial artist, I have the right to make this suggestion. I will submit a proposal to the central government and submit it jointly with some people. Wu Quishan continued, As our soldiers and comrades, we fight on the front lines and shed our blood. We have the obligation to ensure the safety of their families. In my opinion, attacking and killing Fong Ping is not surprising. However, attacking and killing his family is something that cannot be forgiven and ignored. Since there are martial artists from the pill company involved, then we must investigate it thoroughly and not tolerate it. Fong Ping was a little speechless from the side. What are you saying? Why is killing me something that should be done? All right, old Wu was on his side after all, so he would not argue any further. Zheng Minghong exhaled softly, looked at Wu Quishan deeply, nodded and said, All right, then we will cooperate with the government's action. You need to announce it to the public. Wu Quishan, don't go too far. Wu Quishan shook his head and said, to appease the people. CEO Zheng, you should know what I mean. Right now, everyone is watching and waiting for the results. If we don't announce it to the public, how can we appease the people? Zheng Minghong said coldly, All right, announce it to the public. I want to see if you can do whatever you want and do whatever you want. Even if the problem was found, could Wu Quishan bear the responsibility? Would he really disclose the situation to the public? Fong Ping, on the other hand, had no choice but to give up. He said indifferently, I can't even keep my life. Why would I care about this? At most, I'll die. Does CEO Zheng really think that I'll sacrifice myself for the so-called big picture? But if I die, some people won't have it easy either. What am I afraid of? A rank 6 came to kill me now. Who knows? Maybe a rank 7 or 8 will come tomorrow. If they don't give me an explanation and a guarantee, who knows if my head will roll on the ground tomorrow? These days, I'll let Dean Li and the rest stay close to me to protect me. If I don't die, then I want the results to be fair and public. If the big picture is ruined, then it's not my responsibility. At most, I'll still die, no difference. With my injuries, I doubt if I can live to that day. Are you threatening us? No, I wouldn't dare either. The weak are prey to the strong. I'm only a rank 5 martial artist. How would I dare to threaten a rank 8 powerhouse? Don't talk about threatening you. Even I'm scared. If my instructors get involved in this, will they be a burden? Maybe one day, MCMD will be annihilated. That's not impossible. It's fine if I die, but if I drag MCMU down, then I won't be able to rest in peace. As he said that, Fong Ping suddenly stood up and bowed to the few MCMU grandmasters, saying, "Instructors, you don't have to get involved in this. I'll handle it myself. It's better for me to die alone than to drag everyone down. If my death can solve all the problems, then it'll be worth it." At this point, Fong Ping's eyes were filled with tears. He choked and said, "I overestimated myself. With my rank 5 ability, I tried in vain to pry open some people's interests. How can I have a good ending? I should have guessed it earlier, and I should have understood it earlier. After I die, I hope the university will cancel some of the previous policy changes. The scale of pills and weapons will be reduced to what it was before. I've entered MCMAU and am indebted to your kindness. From today onwards, I hope that all instructors will take care of yourselves and not avenge me." After saying that, Fong Ping bowed deeply, wiped his tears, and said, "This matter is over. I won't pursue it anymore. Instructors, please go back." Having said that, Fong Ping turned around and walked out. At this moment, everyone in the concourse had strange expressions on their faces. Although Fong Ping was putting on a show, it was not without reason. Everyone did not speak for a while, as if they were waiting for something. In the end, they waited and waited until Fong Ping was about to walk out, but Zheng Minghong still did not speak. Fong Ping cursed in his heart. This guy knew what he wanted, but he just did not give in. Now it was really difficult for him to back down. Seeing this, Zheng Minghong let out a cold humph. Naturally, he knew what Fong Ping wanted and what MCMU wanted. However, did Fong Ping really think that he could get whatever he wanted just because he had something on them? Zheng Minghong could only say that he thought too much. Whether Fong Ping pretended to be crazy to gain sympathy or poke through the last layer of window paper, if the two major companies did not give in, what else could he do? Seeing that Fong Ping had fallen into a dilemma, Wu Quishan suddenly laughed and shook his head lightly. "Fong Ping, you've learned your lesson today, haven't you? Some things are not that simple. It's not something that you can get what you want just by saying a few words. If you want to fight for some benefits for MCMU, if you want to do something that the predecessors could not do, you're still a little lacking. Your ability is also a little weak." Fong Ping suddenly turned around, a strange expression on his face. "Vice-Chancellor, you mean? You're talking so much nonsense to them. You're just a rank 5 martial artist. Who would take you seriously? Reason can't be said out loud." Wu Quishan chuckled. "Also, don't treat me, the Vice-Chancellor, as trash. Take this opportunity to teach you. Sometimes, when you need to be tough, you need to be a little tougher. If they don't give in, then snatch." Wu Quishan. Zheng Minghong suddenly had a bad feeling. Wu Quishan was famous for being a sinister person. Now that he suddenly said something like this, he felt that it was very inappropriate. What was Wu Quishan trying to do? Snatch. What a joke. Snatch what? Wu Chuan could not help but look at Wu Quishan. With a cautious expression, he said in a low voice, "Vice-Chancellor Wu, enough is enough." Wu Quishan laughed and nodded. "Of course. How about this? The rest of you leave first. I'll talk to the two bosses alone." "How about that?" Fong Ping looked confused and said immediately, "Vice-Chancellor, I'll stay." Wu Quishan glanced at him and smiled. "All right, if you want to be MCMU's Vice-Chancellor, then stay. The rest of you, please leave first. There will be a conclusion to this matter." Wu Chuan and the others frowned. What was Wu Quishan trying to do? Not only them, Zheng Minghong and the others looked uncomfortable too. What was Wu Quishan trying to do? This sinister fellow was much harder to deal with than Fong Ping. He might not have done much recently, but all these years in MCMAU, When the old vice-chancellor was focused on school affairs, Wu Quishan had been handling the external affairs. No matter how cunning Fang Ping was compared to Wu Quishan, he was still a little green. Moreover, his ability could not be mentioned in the same breath. Chapter 421. Following Wu Quishan's words, the concourse fell into silence again. It seemed like MCMU was determined to join this conflict of interest this time. Everyone was not stupid. From the moment Fang Ping dragged the two major companies into this mess, everyone knew his intention. Almost everyone who had cultivated to this level was in a high position. No one was a fool. Could the Zheng Minghong duo not see it? They had seen it long ago. However, even if Zheng Minghong was forced by Fang Ping's words to the point of embarrassment, he still refused to give in. He did not want things to get worse. It was not a big deal for him to lose some imperishable substance and be mocked by a rank 5 like Fang Ping. Everyone present had the ability to swallow a spittle, except for a few who had a strong temper and could not take it. After a moment of silence, Wu Chuan said, "I can't stay either." He was the guardian of the South, one of the 4 main guardians. Although his qualifications were not too deep, he was a rank 9 powerhouse. Coupled with his identity as a guardian, he was definitely one of the higher-ups of humanity. Wu Quishan looked at him for a moment and laughed suddenly. Since the guardian is willing to stay, that's fine too. Anyone here who wants to stay can. Of course, sometimes knowing too much might not be a good thing. There were still many smart people. After Wu Quishan said that, many of them did not waste any more time, getting up and walking out directly. Knowing too much might not be a good thing. Wu Quishan's so-called, take it if you don't give it. Where did he, a rank 8 martial artist and the vice-chancellor of a school, get the confidence to say this? Although the 2 CEOs of the 2 major companies were only rank 8 powerhouses, it did not mean that the 2 major companies only had this bit of foundation. As some people left, finally, there were only 8 people left in the concourse. The CEOs of the 2 major companies, Wu Chuan, Wu Quishan, Fang Ping, Old Man Li, Wang Jinyang, and the last person was Chen Yaoding. Seeing that Chen Yaoding stayed, Wu Quishan was slightly surprised, but he did not say much. If Chen Yaoding insisted on staying, then he would not chase him away. As for Wang Jinyang, if he wanted to stay, then it was up to him. Although Wang Jinyang's strength was average, and no one seemed to support him, in reality, he could also be seen as Nanjiang's representative. After the others left, Wu Quishan released his mentality abruptly, instantly setting up a layer of mentality barrier around the concourse. Zheng Minghong raised his brows slightly and said in a low voice, "Wu Quishan, what are you trying to say?" At this moment, Wu Quishan sat down with a faint smile on his face. He ignored Zheng Minghong and gestured for Fang Ping to sit beside him. After Fang Ping sat down, Wu Quishan chuckled. "You're too young. Sometimes, one had to plan before taking action. Things couldn't be rushed. Actually, this matter could be planned slowly and waited for a while longer. Once we have evidence of Zhao Yu's collusion with the cult, we'll capture him and bring him to the Ministry of Commerce instead of negotiating with these 2 families. Do you know what I mean? There was no need to create too much of a commotion. There was no need for everyone to know about it. In order to calm things down, there were many things that could be discussed slowly. It's just selling some shares. What's the big deal? These shares of MCMU are worth about 70 to 80 billion. For the 2 big companies, it's peanuts." Fang Ping nodded and said, "I just think it's too much of a waste of time. It's fine to waste some time. When it's time to endure, endure." Wu Quishan, this is not MCMAU. If you want to teach students, wait until we get back to MCMAU. Zheng Minghong frowned, looking dissatisfied. Wu Quishan chuckled and nodded. "All right, then I won't teach. How about this? Zheng Minghong, Sun Liqing, buy back MCMU shares and some of Fang Ping's pill company's shares. No cash. Just provide us with 200 billion worth of pills and weapons at cost price." The place was eerily quiet. What a joke. Fang Ping was also dumbfounded. Whitehead Wu was very awesome. Was this what he meant by robbing? It was indeed robbing. 200 billion worth of pills and weapons, if sold by the 2 big companies, would probably be worth close to 1 trillion. This was even more awesome than robbing. However, the point was, Was it enough to just say one sentence? Of course. Fong Ping knew that Wu Quishan definitely had this confidence. The key was where this confidence came from. With just those few shares of MCMU, forget about providing 200 billion worth of resources at cost price. Fong Ping would feel that it was a profit even if he gave 80 billion. Zheng Minghong sneered. Wu Quishan, are you still dreaming? Or do you think that you're too free? The weapons company's CEO, Sun Liqing, also chuckled. Vice Chancellor Wu, don't you think that's a little too much? As he said that, Sun Liqing said again, how about this? Now that things have come to this, MCMAU is destined to part ways with us. Since our ideals are different, we won't stop you. 20 billion for the shares. If you don't want cash, we can provide you with resources at market price of 50 billion. Vice Chancellor Wu, this is an exception. You should know that this price is already our limit. At this moment, the others had left. Sun Liqing was no longer the same as before. Actually, they could only negotiate when there were fewer people. Fong Ping had brought so many people over previously. It was not a good thing to force the two companies in front of so many people. Even if the two major companies wanted to compromise, they would never do so in front of others. Wu Quishan smiled and said, no rush. Let me finish. 200 billion is nothing. Maybe after you hear me out, you'll think that 200 billion is too little. Zheng Minghong felt slightly uneasy. He said in a low voice, all right, then I'd like to hear what you have to say. Fong Ping also looked curious. He did not say a word, waiting quietly. What would Wu Quishan say? Wu Quishan, on the other hand, looked calm and relaxed. He said lightly, the species conservation plan. Maybe you can call it that. I don't know if you guys call it that. Is this enough? When Wu Quishan said the first four words, Zheng Minghong and Wang Jinyang's expressions changed drastically. It was not just them. Wu Chuan's expression changed drastically too. He shouted suddenly, Wu Quishan, how did you know? So you all know. Wu Quishan's faint voice sounded, saying playfully, I speculated it. Do you believe me? The three of them looked frighteningly grim. Beside them, Qin Yaoding, an old man, Li looked cold and solemn, not saying a word. Fong Ping and Wang Jinyang were slightly puzzled, but they seemed to have sensed that something was not right. Wu Quishan was still smiling playfully. He gently brushed the non-existent dust off his legs and laughed. 200 billion. We don't want more. Don't force us. We just want to take back what belongs to us. Also, MCMAU is not a beggar. If the two of you can't make the decision, then find someone who can. Zheng Minghong's expression was extremely cold and stern. He said sternly, Wu Quishan, you must bear all the consequences of what you said. Bang! Wu Quishan suddenly slammed his palm down. The tea table beside him shattered instantly. At this moment, Wu Quishan's expression was equally cold. The bone-piercing chill turned the entire concourse chilly. Of course, I will take responsibility. Even if I die, I will only die in the catacombs. I will never die on the run. Wu Quishan's words were powerful and resonant. Following that, he was suddenly enraged to the extreme. He said sinisterly, we are sacrifices. But even if we were to be sacrificed, it will definitely not be for you. We are fighting for those humans who have been abandoned. We are fighting for ourselves. The evil sects are annihilated but not destroyed. Do those rank 9 paragons really care about the evil sects? All these years, do you really think that I know nothing? Don't force me. Really, please don't force us. Honest people have anger too. What are we fighting for at the front line? Tell me, who are we fighting for? For the so-called seeds and elites? Why? Wu Quishan was enraged. A violent storm was brewing in the main hall. Fong Ping and Wang Jinyang could not help but take a few steps back. How many of our martial arts university teachers and students have died? How many soldiers in the military department have lost their lives in the catacombs? Died in the catacombs? Buried in the catacombs? Now, we can't even satisfy our own cultivation. Why do we have to listen to you? Why? For a group of elites who have never entered the catacombs before. Ridiculous. There are some things that you shouldn't treat everyone as fools or idiots. Many people know about it, but they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. But I, Wu Quishan, am not afraid. Just because Fong Ping doesn't dare to do it and can't do it doesn't mean that I, Wu Quishan, can't do it. Both of you, 200 billion. This is the blood of martial arts university instructors and students. If anyone dares to say no, as long as I, Wu Quishan, am alive, don't blame me for disregarding the so-called big picture. At this moment, Wu Quishan was extremely domineering and domineering. Zheng Minghong and the others' expressions were also extremely ugly. Beside them, Qin Yaoting said faintly, just as I expected, "Fine, SCMU won't rip you off. Both of you will share some techniques. SCMU will produce and market itself in the future. And you too." Although Wang Jinyang did not know much about the inside story at this moment, it did not stop him from fighting for NMAU's interests. "Bastard!" Zheng Minghong yelled angrily. However, just as he finished speaking, a golden ray illuminated the sky and earth. A pair of iron palms slapped his head soundlessly. Crack, a soft, faint sound was heard. Zheng Minghong's head caved in directly. His flesh and blood disappeared without a trace. He had completely become a skull. Vice-Chancellor Wu Chuan roared. Beside him, Sun Liqing was already terrified. He wanted to escape the place instantly. However, Wu Quishan retracted his hand with a chuckle. He said lightly, "A loose tongue can cause trouble." "How dare you, Zheng Minghong, yell at me, Wu Quishan? Ask your grandfather to come find me. Who do you think you are?" At this moment, there was a sudden cracking sound on the skull. On the golden skull, some cracks appeared. In the next moment, flesh and blood grew. After a while, Zheng Minghong's appearance was restored, but his face was pale. Looking at Wu Quishan, Zheng Minghong smiled bitterly. "Wu Quishan, I underestimated you. The outside world says that you, Wu Quishan, are hard to reach rank 9. I don't think so." He did not dwell on the fact that his golden bones were cracked by Wu Quishan's palm earlier. His strength was not as good as Wu Quishan's. His words of bastard earlier had angered Wu Quishan. There was no use talking about these things now. As for killing him, Wu Quishan would not, nor would he dare. Moreover, Wu Chuan was still here. Wu Quishan could not kill him. Wu Quishan injured him with one palm. This matter could not be reasoned with, unless a fight to the death really broke out. Wu Quishan retracted his hand. Sun Liqing, who was about to escape, also stopped. His expression was uncertain. Wu Chuan only scolded him, but did not stop him. At this moment, he did not say anything either. Wu Quishan smiled, saying softly, "Rank 9 is naturally difficult, but even if you don't enter rank 9, people like you are still not worthy of my, Wu Quishan's, attention. Both of you, I've said everything that needs to be said. 200 billion worth of pills and weapons will be sent to MCMU later. In the future, MCMU will not provide any raw materials to the two major companies. Don't worry, I will only take back what belongs to MCMAU. I can't be bothered with other people. If you feel indignant, you can send someone to look for me, Wu Quishan. However, forget about the average rank 9. Send a rank 9 paragon. I, Wu Quishan, would also like to see how ruthless and cold-blooded a human rank 9 paragon can be." Zheng Minghong and Wu Quishan did not reply. Wu Chuan said coldly, "Vice-Chancellor Wu, things have not been decided yet. That is also the final plan." He. Wu Quishan sneered, saying playfully, "Maybe. Of course, when the time comes, maybe I will also agree to this plan. However, are all martial arts university students going to become sacrifices? Some of them must be taken away." Wu Chuan took a deep breath, saying in a low voice, "I said, it has not been decided yet. When the time comes, it will definitely not be what you think it is. Even a rank 9 paragon does not mean that it can be decided with just a word. If that is the case, I, Wu Chuan, will be the first to disagree. What's the use of your objection?" Wu Quishan was a little disdainful. Wu Chuan said coldly, "Do you think that in this world, only you, Wu Quishan, is fearless? Of course, I, Wu Chuan, dare to too. Besides, most people don't agree, including Commander Li." Commander Li, Wu Quishan heard that, and suddenly laughed. That's true. Let's wait and see then. Having said that, Wu Quishan turned his head to look at Fong Ping, chuckling softly. Kid, learn a little? What's the use of talking so much nonsense to them? Just snatch it. If they don't give it, then beat them up. After beating these grandsons into submission, you will naturally have it. Zheng Minghong did not say a word. Sun Liqing looked helpless, sighing. Vice-Chancellor Wu, there are some things that we are not doing for personal gain. You should understand. I understand. Of course I understand. Wu Quishan smiled faintly. I am unwilling, but it is not incomprehensible. However, no matter how much I understand, I cannot sit by and watch as MCMU's instructors and students are destined to become sacrifices. Therefore, I am not asking for much. I'm only taking back what belongs to MCMAU. Zheng Minghong's tone was cold and indifferent. You only think about MCMAU. Wu Quishan, don't you think that you are also very selfish? Selfish? Wu Quishan said faintly, yes, but so what? Everyone is human. Are the instructors and students of martial arts universities not part of the human race? Martial arts universities do not avoid battles, right? With resources and strength, we martial arts universities instructors and students will naturally fight to the end, fight until the last person falls. I, Wu Quishan, will only die in the catacombs. I will never die in the vast universe. Wu Quishan's voice suddenly became louder. If I die, I will only die standing. Zheng Minghong did not speak anymore. Sun Liqing also remained silent. Wu Chuan said softly, our generation will not kneel to live. Wu Quishan glanced at him and smiled faintly. Let's see how it goes. Goodbye. After throwing these words, Wu Quishan strode out directly. Fong Ping hurried to catch up. Wang Jinyang did not hesitate either, immediately following them and leaving. Chun Yaoting also stood up and walked out. His expression did not change, looking indifferent. After waiting for a few people to leave, Zheng Minghong suddenly exploded, saying angrily, am I, Zheng Minghong, someone who kneels to live? Everything I've done, is it all for my own sake? Wu Quishan is righteous. He wants to be a hero. Am I a coward? Tian Mu called me a spy. Wu Quishan attacked me directly. What right do they have? If they have the ability to find those rank 9 paragons, they can ask for an explanation. Do they want to find me because I am easy to bully? Mother Fasters Kerr, I quit. Whoever wants to do it can do it. This trivial matter has nothing to do with me. They are too much. Sun Liqing glanced at him. After a while, he said helplessly, why didn't you say anything just now? Zheng Minghong said angrily, I can't beat him. What did I say? Wu Chuan swept a glance at him, saying helplessly, don't tell me. I don't care about this. Also, what's going on with Zhao Yu? Zheng Minghong said angrily, how would I know? There are so many people in the pill company. Do I have to keep an eye on everyone? Wu Chuan's expression changed. He humphed, try calling me I again. Zheng Minghong shut up immediately. Then, he flew into a rage out of humiliation. Without another word, he soared into the air and disappeared instantly. Wu Chuan rubbed his temples. Sun Liqing saw this and said bitterly, Guardian, I'll leave too. MCMAU sighed, really dared to ask for an exorbitant price. Is Wu Quishan determined to eat us up? Wu Chuan humphed, control your people. Without Fong Ping as a trigger, Wu Quishan would not have exploded. I'm warning you, people like us can die in a battle with the catacombs martial artists. We will never die in the hands of our own people. The next time people from the 2 major companies show up, I will execute all of you directly. Sun Liqing looked helpless. So many people. Forget it. There's no point in talking more. We can only strengthen our defenses, right? Is Wu Quishan going to achieve rank 9? Wu Chuan shook his head. Peak rank bait. This sneaky guy broke through without a sound. He didn't even tell anyone. I'm warning you, don't provoke him. 3 years ago, the person who broke into Sky Gate City might be him. What? Sun Liqing was a little shocked. Then he suddenly thought of something. He frowned and said, then he has a rank 9 divine weapon. Wu Chuan nodded slightly, saying in a low voice, 3 years ago, a section of the Sky Gate tree's trunk was chopped off. If it's him, then he must have a rank 9 divine weapon. That's why I said, don't provoke this sneaky guy. Let Zheng Minghong admit defeat. If his grandfather really goes looking for trouble and gets beaten to death, don't blame us for not helping. Sun Liqing felt like he was about to break down. His days were getting harder and harder. The old was sinister, the young was cunning. If that sneaky old Wu Quishan really had a rank 9 divine weapon, a typical rank 9 might not be his match. Sun Liqing also rubbed his forehead, exhaling. I know. This old fellow is really tolerant. He's also really ruthless. Tolerant meant that Wu Quishan had not exposed his strength all this while. Ruthless meant that when the old vice-chancellor died in battle, Wu Quishan did not make a move and let the old vice-chancellor fight to the death. If he really had a rank 9 divine weapon, his strength would be extremely strong. If he made a move, one less person would die. Wu Chuan said in a low voice, I'm afraid he wants to achieve rank 9 and kill the Sky Gate City Lord. Sun Liqing's pupils contracted slightly. He said in understanding, no wonder if it was really for this, then it was understandable. However, this time, Wu Quishan had exposed many secrets. As he was thinking, Wu Chuan suddenly laughed. He's trying to curry favor with Fong Ping. If he achieves rank 9, it's hard to say when. But Fong Ping, do you understand what I mean? Sun Liqing understood once again. He smiled bitterly. I understand now. No wonder this old fellow let Fong Ping do whatever he wants, then came out to cover for him. Mother Fastress Kerr, this sneaky guy is really sinister. Fong Ping, that little bastard, he's probably crying tears of gratitude now. Later on, he'll have to work for him. That's hard to say. Wu Chuan laughed. Fong Ping is not a good person either. Suddenly, Wu Chuan slapped his thigh, frowning. I forgot to ask about something else. Too many things happened just now. He had forgotten to ask about Fong Ping's golden bones. There was also Wang Jinyang's matter. Now, these people had all disappeared without a trace. You go back first. These are my speculations. There's no need to report them. Sun Liqing nodded. I know. That old fellow knows that I'm a snitch. Who knows what he's thinking? If I die because of him, I won't even know who to look for revenge. Wu Chuan laughed again. It's good that you understand. Wu Quishan could take over as MCMAU's vice-chancellor. The old vice-chancellor handed MCMAU to him without worry before he left. It was not just because of his rank 8 strength. The old vice-chancellor himself did not like to play these tricks. That did not mean that he did not understand these things. If he dared to fight to the death without worry, naturally, he had the confidence. As long as Wu Quishan was around, MCMU would not collapse. As for Fong Ping, who was pushed out now, before this kid achieved rank 8, don't say that MCMU's surname was Fong. Chapter 422. On the street, Fong Ping kept staring at Wu Quishan. Wu Quishan acted as if he did not see it. He said as he walked, Is there anything else? If not, we'll go back first. Don't. Let's have reunion dinner together. Fong Ping looked outside. It seemed to be past 12 o'clock, but it did not matter. It was good to have a meal and get to know each other. Old Wu was amazing. The rank 8 Zheng Minghong did not even have time to react. His head was smashed by a slap. Although he recovered later, his strength was really King terrifying. As he said that, Fong Ping whispered, Vice-Chancellor, about the seed conservation plan. Wu Quishan said disapprovingly, Didn't I say it before? The trend of a great war is getting more and more obvious. If it's a full-scale war, no one can be sure if humanity will perish. Leave some seeds and try to wander the galaxy. It's not a secret plan. Anyone can guess it. As Wu Quishan said that, he laughed. Even if it's not a big secret, this can only be done but not said. Do you understand? Fong Ping nodded. Yes. If it's said, some people will definitely feel hopeless and pessimistic. Some people will even feel resentful. It's normal. It's good that you understand. That's why even though many people know about it, they don't say it. Wu Quishan sighed softly. Many of the older generation are not afraid of death. But what about their descendants? Chun Yaoding, are you willing to let all your descendants die in the war? Chun Yaoding, who was walking at the side, said lightly, you have to leave too for me. Wu Quishan laughed. Did you hear that? That's why everyone knows. Even if they don't, many of them have guessed it. But Wu Quishan snorted coldly. However, according to my observation, many of them have never entered the catacombs. They're just a bunch of talented vitality bastards. Mother Asterisk Kerr, there are so many martial arts university students. At the last moment, I'm afraid we can't take more than 1% with us. Wu Quishan cursed. He said a lot of the major companies' resources have been wasted on them. They've opened up their supply, hoping that they can be stronger and survive. Actually, I'm not against this plan. It's better to be safe than sorry. When that time comes, how many of them can survive? Even if they lose their hometown, it's still better than being completely wiped out. But what I can't bear is that after so many years, we're still giving our all. Yet these people never consider our situation. A few years ago, we didn't have enough resources and gave them some. But now we have enough. Do you want us to be feed until they reach rank 8? Hearing that, Fong Ping said indignantly, yes, that makes sense. I wasn't included. Wu Quishan was speechless. He snapped, of course I didn't have you in the past, but it's fine now. If you really want to run, I'll definitely bring you along. Chun Yaoding also said with a faint smile, don't worry. At that time, no one will dare to stop your group of people if you want to leave. Even if they lose some of their original seeds, they won't give up on you. They wouldn't dare either. Wu Quishan smiled and said, of course not. Wu Ke. Unless they run. They run. Unless they run, I run. Ping Wu Wu as I is. Ping is as I said. Ming Wang Kue Long, he fong to the long as he not. He, Ti Fong Wu. Unless he Ping Hao. Rank 9 paragons. They will die if they don't care about them. Humans have to fight their way out if they want to survive. Even if they know that the higher-ups have arranged a way out, they won't consider running. How many of them can run? Earth is occupied. Where can they run to? Even if they give it their all, how far can they get from Earth? Fong Ping, don't think about it. It's not reliable. If you want to survive, you have to rely on your abilities. Try to improve. Wu Quishan was not optimistic about this plan. Many of the older generation powerhouses were not optimistic either. They only had 1 in 10,000 hope. Maybe they can find a place suitable for survival? Over the years, some top-notch powerhouses were looking for a suitable shelter. Some powerhouses crossed the universe and were still wandering in outer space. Could they find them? They could not. If they had the time, they might as well spend more time thinking of ways to defeat the catacombs. Fong Ping pursed his lips. Why should I run? I'm not running. I just want to get some benefits. Only a fool would run. On the ground, I have the confidence to survive. In outer space, I'll be a fish on the chopping board. All that just like that. This lousy plan can probably only appease the older generation top-notch powerhouses. In reality, it doesn't have much use. Wu Quishan was slightly surprised. He said in amusement, you can tell? It's so obvious. Fong Ping sneered. From what I see, the government is afraid that if those rank 9 paragons run away, others won't be able to survive. But these powerhouses, to be honest, if they really unite, it's enough to occupy the catacombs and become kings. The catacombs might not attack them. Rather than seeds, I think they're more like hostages. Of course, it's not that mysterious. The government will feed your family's descendants for free. You have to fight for humans. Really, it's understandable. I'm not jealous at all. If I become a rank 9 paragon and the government does this, I'll be at ease and feel better. Even if I know it might not be useful, it's better than doing nothing. Wu Quishan laughed involuntarily. Chun Yaoding laughed too. With this awareness of yours, you'll be good in politics too. Fong Ping said indifferently, this is nothing. Don't the 2 vice-chancellors know? The vice-chancellor said this on purpose this time to get some benefits. If you really use it as a big blackmail, it's useless. If you provoke those rank 9 paragons and make them run away, I don't think you can clean up the mess. Wu Quishan said impatiently, do you really think I'm stupid? That's why I'm fighting for some benefits for MCMAU. Do I care about the others? The more capable you are, the more you can eat. 200 billion is actually nothing. After all, MCMU has so many instructors and students. According to your plan, it will exceed 10,000 people. On average, give each person 20 million and we'll continue to work hard. What's wrong with that? Moreover, if I'm not wrong, the government still has God knows how many resources they've hoarded. At the last moment, they'll have to take them all out. It's not strange for them to provide them for free. We'll take some in advance. It's nothing. Of course, it's only this time. Don't create any more trouble. You can cooperate with other martial arts universities. But remember, it's limited to a certain range. Before the major companies lower their prices, if you dare to use MCMU's name to sell pills and lower the price, I'll kill you first. The major companies also have their own considerations. They're not our enemies. Do you understand? Fong Ping nodded. I understand, but Fong Ping frowned slightly. They really have nothing to do with the evil sects? Wu Quishan said impatiently. What do you think? The evil sects are evil sections. The species conservation plan has nothing to do with the evil sections. The idea of the evil sects is different from the species conservation plan. According to the evil sects idea, it's actually integration. Not only the integration of the two worlds, but also the integration of races. Wu Quishan said coldly. Integration of races. What a joke. When that time comes, I'm afraid that humans will really be extinct. Chen Yaoting also said coldly. Naturally, the major companies have their own selfish motives. However, their selfishness is limited to a certain range. However, the evil sects are gambling with the future of the entire race. Therefore, don't mix the two together. If you encounter evil sects, you must kill them. The reason why we didn't go all out to annihilate them is mainly because it's not worth it. Chen Yaoting shook his head and said, have you seen how many evil sects dare to attack ordinary people? They don't have the guts. These idiots only entertain themselves. They're limited to a small circle, fantasizing about becoming the master of the world. Of course, the fact that they haven't been completely annihilated has something to do with their higher-ups hiding too deeply. It's impossible for us to thoroughly investigate all the powerhouses just for a mere evil sect. That will cause a lot of trouble. The losses outweigh the gains. Vice-Chancellor Wu said that on purpose earlier. Zheng Minghong and the others dare not guarantee that there are no evil sects hiding on their side. If it really gets out of hand, it won't be easy to clean up. Oh, but I think it's better to kill more. These beasts dared to attack me. If I don't kill them, it won't be enough to appease the public's anger. Wu Quishan nodded. Of course. Don't worry, the government won't just let this matter go. Not only the government, I'm preparing to contact some martial arts university powerhouses to kill some of the fellows who have emerged. They got guts. All these years, they didn't provoke martial arts universities, and martial arts universities couldn't be bothered with them. Last time it was Nanjiang's matter. You insisted on getting involved, and we couldn't be bothered. But it's different this time. They know that you're MCMAU's Martial Arts Society president, and they still dared to attack you. This time, if we don't kill a few of their high ranks, they'll really think that martial arts universities are easy to bully. Chen Yaoting laughed. Count me in. You don't say. I only know where a rank 7 guy is hiding. I couldn't be bothered before, but this time, kill him, find a branch, and hang his head on it. If you want to die, just say it. Both of them were very arrogant when they spoke. Fong Ping's face was full of envy. If they had the ability, naturally, they would be arrogant. As long as a rank 9 did not appear, martial arts university powerhouses could join forces and almost run amok. Even if it was a rank 9, if they were besieged by dozens or hundreds of grandmasters, they would still die. Unless the evil sect had a rank 9 paragon. Not to mention, if they dared to make a move, the hidden rank 9 paragons might also make a move. Ability, it was still the law of the jungle. If they were powerful, even the evil sect would not dare to provoke them. Beside him, Old Man Li said lazily, it's time to kill some to intimidate these people. We're the ones who kill them. They don't have the right to kill us. Just be obedient and be a rat. If they dare to come out, they're asking for it. Fong Ping glanced at him and said softly, "Instructor, take it easy. You don't even have the imperishable substance." Old Man Li glared at him. "I'm arrogant, so what? Would the evil sect people dare to kill him? No, would they dare to provoke him? However, after thinking about it, it was not necessarily that they would not dare to." Old Man Li coughed softly and said, "Actually, the evil sect is also divided into two factions. One faction is a rat, and the other is not willing to be a rat. They're the crazier kind. When you meet these kinds of people, it's very difficult to scare them. The few that were killed last time were all from the crazier faction." Oh! Fong Ping did not ask further. He was not really concerned about this. After coughing softly, Fong Ping said softly, "Vice-Chancellor, this time the shares were sold for 200 billion. According to the proportion of shares, it shouldn't be a problem to get 15 billion from my 100 shares, right? 15 billion. This was the cost price. The market price was high, 3 to 5 times normal. In other words, the market price could be as high as 50 billion and above. According to past experience, the system valued pills and weapons at 70% of the market price. If it was calculated in this way, perhaps it could provide Fong Ping with more than 30 billion wealth. This was a shocking amount of money. Wu Quishan glanced at him. After a while, he said, "What do you think?" "I think maybe 20 billion is not a problem," Wu Quishan sneered. Then he humphed and said, "Sell it yourself then." Fong Ping laughed dryly. "Don't do that, Vice-Chancellor. If worst comes to worst, I'll get the stuff and lend it to MCMU. Give it to MCMU. Fong Ping was speechless. Give my ass. If he gave it away, he did not know if the system would calculate these wealth points again. In the past, it was calculated. However, such a large transaction would cost tens of billions. However, this was not a good thing to say. After walking for a while, Wu Quishan said, "When the stuff is delivered, you get 5 billion. Why?" Fong Ping looked unwilling. Wu Quishan could not help but scold, "Because this belongs to my wife." "Is that bit of energy essence of yours really worth so much money? I can buy it from the government." Fong Ping said sheepishly, "Aren't you divorced?" "My instructor gave it to me. Of course it's mine." "Your wife?" "Your wife divorced you and lived apart a long time ago. Old Wu is so shameless." Wu Quishan suddenly wanted to hammer him to death. This kid was really black-hearted. Beside him, Old Man Li coughed softly and said, "All right, that's about enough. It's useless even if you want so much." There are people who complain about having too much money. Fong Ping felt helpless. What did he say? Sigh, forget it. 5 billion, it was then. Maybe he could get more wealth points. Was there a billion? It was a pity that not all of it belonged to him this time. Otherwise, the system would definitely have to upgrade again. In this battle, he had used up a lot of wealth points. However, after forging the golden bones, his strength had increased a lot too. Fong Ping took the opportunity to look at his stats wealth. 110 billion, converted vitality. 820 calories, 5,500 calories mentality. 320 hertz, 879 hertz, bones honed. 177 bones, 100%, 29 bones, 90% storage space, for cubic meters, plus energy shield, 10,000 wealth points/minute this time. After the forging of the golden bones was completed, Fong Ping's strength had really skyrocketed. His vitality limit had increased by close to 700 calories. His mentality had also increased by tens of hertz. As for the consumption of wealth points, he would not have known if he did not look at it. Once he did, he was shocked. The consumption was close to 1 billion. After receiving the 600 million from the university, his wealth points had actually recovered to more than 9 billion. Fong Ping calculated carefully. Bone honing had cost about 200 million. The few outbursts after that, including the celestiality explosion that killed the peak rank 6, had cost about 200 to 300 million. Calculating it, it was a maximum of 500 million. However, at this moment, Fong Ping was still using vitality force to repair his injuries. Every second, more than 100 cal of vitality was consumed, which meant that every second was close to 100,000 wealth points consumed. 1 minute, that was 6 million. 1 hour, more than 300 million. Of course, Fong Ping did not need to do this all the time, but now that his golden bones were fully formed and his flesh was still crumbling, he had no choice but to maintain it. Fong Ping did not pay much attention to it before, but now he looked serious and said quickly, "Instructors, my injuries are more serious than I expected. The key is not that the injuries are too serious, but that my golden bones are fully formed. My physique is not good enough, and my flesh is constantly crumbling. Is there a way to solve this?" This was no longer a matter of the imperishable substance. The imperishable substance could help him recover from his injuries, but now his physique was not strong enough, and his flesh was still crumbling. He was in big trouble. As soon as he said that, the few people who saw that he was fine also looked solemn. Wu Quishan frowned and said, "Your physique is not strong enough?" "Yes. Golden Bones, you're always up to no good." Wu Quishan could not help but curse. Achieving Golden Bones in advance might not be a good thing. Only a peak rank SIXS physique could withstand 10,000 cow of vitality. Fong Ping was nowhere near that. Chun Yaoding couldn't help but frown. Enhance physique. Why don't we buy a few energy fruits to enhance physique? Wu Quishan shook his head and said, "It might not be useful. Furthermore, these things can't be bought. They're all hidden. Who would sell them? Try using the energy essence." "Fong Ping, do you have more?" Fong Ping said gloomily, "There's really nothing left." "Then let's trade." Wu Quishan exhaled and said, "Take a portion of your medicinal pills and trade for some. The pill company has them. They might not have it, but the government definitely has it. It's hard to buy it, but it's not impossible to exchange it. Even if you can't, you have to do it. This time, you were attacked in Nanjiang's jurisdiction. This matter is the government's responsibility. It's not a big problem to exchange some for healing. What I'm afraid of is that you might not be able to withstand the pressure of the golden bones. If that's the case, your flesh and blood will continue to crumble. How are you going to cultivate then?" Fong Ping could not help but look at Old Man Li, asking, "Teacher, can I forge a semi-golden body in advance?" Old Man Li muttered, "Your situation is different from mine. I wasn't a golden skeleton back then. How about this, kid? Throw some money." "Huh." Hire a few rank 8 golden body powerhouses to supply you with imperishable substance while bathing in energy essence. With 2 approaches at the same time, you should be able to forge a semi-golden body in advance. Fong Ping was stunned. He gulped and asked, "Is it expensive?" Hiring rank 8 golden body powerhouses to supply imperishable substance. Fong Ping could imagine that it was definitely not a small sum. However, if it could be solved with money, then it was not a problem. After all, he did not need much money now. Old Man Li said nonchalantly, "How would I know? Under normal circumstances, death is death. How many people would hire a rank 8 to supply them with imperishable substance? Rank 8s value this stuff very much too. You can ask Old Wu what price he's asking for." Wu Quishan's expression darkened. "I won't do this kind of thing." What a joke. It was really not a matter of money. It was very difficult to make up for it. This was also the foundation of a rank 8. He was even prepared to break through to rank 9. Lu Fengru was his wife last time, but Fong Ping was not. Moreover, Fong Ping was rich. It was not impossible to hire them. Although he said that, Wu Quishan still rubbed his chin and said, "If you really want to ask for a price, a rank 8's offer won't be cheap. It doesn't have to be limited to the country. There are many rank 8's abroad too. It's not a big problem if one person has fewer input points. Find 7 or 8 people. Then it won't be a problem. One person? Kid, the price is not low. If you let a rank 8 consume his foundation to help you, don't count on it without 10 digits. Fong Ping's face turned green. "Stop joking. 10 digits? That was starting from 1 billion. If he hired 7 or 8 people, he would go bankrupt. Including the energy essence bathing, that would be at least 10 billion. So, what these few people meant was that the gains from the shares this time would all be used to fill the hole. He, a rank 5 martial artist, spent 10 billion to forge a half golden body. If it could make a rank 7 and 8 go bankrupt, most rank 7s and 8s did not have this kind of assets." Wu Quishan saw that he was feeling the pinch and said indifferently, Why don't you continue to be like this? It's nothing anyway, you won't die. Honestly, even if your flesh and internal organs are all shattered now, and you become a skeleton, you still might not die. Why don't you try? Fong Ping's expression darkened. He was not going to try. At the thought of this, Fong Ping suddenly said, Vice-Chancellor, if I forge a half-golden body, does that mean I don't need to hone my meridians and flesh anymore? Nonsense. Forging a half-golden body is a form of honing and remodeling. Of course, you don't need to. That means stepping into peak rank 5 in one step. Fong Ping's eyes lit up. If that was the case, he might not lose out. Beside him, Old Manly interrupted. Even if you step into peak rank 5, the problem is still serious. What's wrong? Old Manly muttered. Your golden bones are formed. You've forged a half-golden body, and your mentality is extremely strong. Kid, sealing your Sanjiao Gate might cause a lot of trouble. Does sealing the Sanjiao Gate have anything to do with these? Of course. Old Manly explained. The so-called sealing of the Sanjiao Gate is to seal the energy in your body so that it won't leak. Vitality force, mentality, bone marrow force, and golden bone force are all your energy. When others are in rank 6, they only need to seal their vitality force and weak mentality. What about you? You want to seal all of these energies and bring them into the Sanjiao Gate. You can imagine how difficult it is. As Old Manly said that, he suddenly laughed. Take your time, kid. Even if I achieve rank 9, you might not be able to seal your Sanjiao Gate. You're done for. If you weren't so strong previously, you might not even need that long to seal your Sanjiao Gate. Fong Ping's expression changed again and again. Don't tease me. Wu Quishan, who was beside him, added, It's really possible. Sealing your Sanjiao Gate is actually sealing your own energy. However, if you seal it, your Sanjiao Gate will accumulate even more energy. The power of your self-detonation will be very strong. Old Manly continued. His celestial bridge is strong too. The power of his self-detonation is also strong. When the time comes, when they self-detonate together, it won't be a problem to kill a rank 7. Chun Yaoding said thoughtfully, coupled with a half-golden body, maybe he can get someone to cooperate and try to blow up a rank 8. This kid might not be able to achieve rank 8, but if he blows up a rank 8, it's worth it. The few of them chimed in one after another. Fong Ping's expression darkened, cursing under his breath. Who's going to self-detonate? Am I stupid? If I really seal my Sanjiao Gate, achieving rank 8 in a day and rank 9.5 a month, why would I self-detonate? As soon as he said that, the few of them who were discussing animatedly just now suddenly quietened down. Old Man Li looked embarrassed. He was really worried now. Would this kid achieve rank 8 earlier than him? Although the Sanjiao Gate was sealed, the stronger the force, the harder it was to seal. However, the stronger the force, the stronger the body. Actually, it was also helpful in sealing the gate. It might not really take up much time. As they were discussing animatedly, Wang Jinyang, who was at the back, felt that he should leave. He kept feeling that he was behind the times. Will I really revive? Wang Jinyang was feeling a little eager. If he did not revive with his current progress, even if he was 10 times faster than the average person compared to this bastard Fong Ping, there was still a huge gap. He might not need long to spend money to achieve peak rank 5. People had already started discussing hiring 8 to 10 golden body powerhouses to forge his golden body for him. Chapter 423. After chatting for a while, under Fong Ping's enthusiastic invitation, the few of them were indeed a little tired, so they went to Fong's house together. Along the way, Fong Ping met a few Sun City martial artists. He asked for a military coat and wrapped himself up tightly. He was also wearing leather gloves on his hands. Fong Ping felt a little helpless at his ghostly appearance. When he went upstairs, he said enviously, Zheng Ming Hong is so awesome. He smacked me into a skull and recovered just like that. You can do it even if you reach the 8th rank. Wu Quishan said casually. Fong Ping teased. Teacher Li can't. Old Man Li did not utter a word. He reached out and gently patted Fong Ping's head, squeezing it until it creaked. The others were not surprised. Fong Ping asked for it. Since he had nothing better to do, he had to make fun of Li Chongqing. When Fong Ping knocked on the door, none of his family members were asleep, nor were they in the mood to sleep. His parents heaved a long sigh of relief when they saw that Fong Ping was back. Fong Yuan also ran around Fong Ping happily. His family did not know anyone else, but Old Man Li and the others had seen him before, so they knew him. When Li Yueying saw Old Man Li, she guessed that the teachers from her son's school had arrived. She hurriedly greeted them and entered the kitchen to start cooking. They had prepared a lot of food for the New Year's Eve dinner, but none of them had eaten it yet. Wu Quishan and the rest did not stand on ceremony. Other than Wang Jinyang, everyone present was older than Fong Ping's parents, including Tang Feng. He looked young, but he was already 50 years old. Fong Ping chuckled when he saw Fong Yuan running around in circles. Honestly, the species conservation plan isn't a bad idea. Wu Quishan glanced at him. Fong Ping said softly, "When that time comes, I want my family to go there too." He wouldn't run away himself, but his family, who didn't have selfish motives? Doesn't he want his family to be safe? Previously, when Wu Quishan was indignant, Fong Ping actually felt unhappy too. But now that he thought about it, if he didn't give himself some benefits, he might not be able to fight to the death. Wu Quishan said softly, "Even if it's really carried out, there's still hope for your sister, but the others." He didn't say much. He couldn't bring too many people with him. Fong Yuan still had a chance. Fong Ping's parents were old and would not take her away. Fong Ping smiled and did not say anything. After chatting for a while, Li Yueying brought the dishes to the table. Fong Ping suddenly asked, "Dad, do we have wine at home?" "Yes, I'll get it." Fong Mingrong, who was feeling a little uneasy, stood up hurriedly to get the wine. Fong Ping did not stop him. After his father left, he sighed and said, "I'll just drink some wine. I don't know if it will leak." Cough, cough. When they thought of his situation, they couldn't help but want to laugh. Fong Yuan, who had just joined them, asked curiously, "What's leaking?" Fong Ping pointed his chin at Wang Jinyang and chuckled. "I'm talking about your brother Wang. He has a big hole in his stomach. His food leaks when he eats." Wang Jinyang did not say a word, let alone second brother. After teasing him for a while, Fong Ping said seriously, "Vice Chancellor, Brother Wang has revived the imperishable substance earlier." The few experts instantly looked at Wang Jinyang, but Wang Jinyang remained silent. Wu Quishan said in a low voice, "Has it really revived?" "Yes." "Interesting." Wu Quishan frowned and said, "In that case, the ancient powerhouses have really revived." Chun Yaoding did not really understand the situation. Fong Ping saw his confusion and explained a little. After hearing this, Chun Yaoding was shocked. The ancient powerhouses have revived? He knew more and more things on this trip today. Some things that he was not sure about before were now confirmed. Some things that he knew nothing about before were now known. As Chun Yaoding said this, he suddenly said, "SCMU has mutated martial artists too." The few of them looked at him. Chun Yaoding exhaled and said, "It's an instructor, a rank 5 instructor. There's a partial mutation. His hand bone has mutated, similar to Fong Ping, producing golden bones." "Golden bones?" Wu Quishan said in a low voice. "Only the hand bone has golden bones." "Yes, this partial golden bone transformation is actually very rare." Chun Yaoding explained, "I was still puzzled before. Under normal circumstances, the whole skeleton must be golden. This kind of golden bone transformation is completely illogical. After all, the skull is not golden. How can it mutate alone?" "Now that I think about it," Chun Yaoding knocked on the table and said thoughtfully, "maybe it's the effect of the imperishable substance. Their essence is golden body powerhouses, so it's not strange for partial mutation to happen." "Rank 5, Wu Quishan asked. "These people mutated at different times. Is there something different about them?" Wang Jinyang and Li Hansong seemed to have mutated since they were young. Yao Qingjun was probably the same. It was only when his mentality reached external projection that rank 4 became prominent. Huang Jing continued, "Could it be related to the strength of their strength, when they were alive? It's possible. Wang Jinyang and the others have a complete mutation. Does it mean that their strength is stronger than rank 8 when they were alive? Was Fang Ping stronger when he was alive? The few of them were having a lively discussion. Fang Ping and Wang Jinyang were speechless. Could they not talk about when they were alive? Those who did not know better would think that they were dead. Fang Yuan was confused. She had no idea what they were talking about. She nudged Fang Ping lightly and whispered, "Brother, what are they talking about?" Fang Ping laughed suddenly and whispered, "They're talking about our ability to produce money. It's the ability to earn money. Your brother's ability to earn money is the strongest, understand?" Fang Yuan seemed to understand, but she did not ask in detail. She asked again, "Brother, can I break through and become a martial artist now?" Fang Ping frowned slightly and smiled. "There's no rush. Do you really want to stay this small?" As they were talking, Wu Quishan suddenly said, "Actually, it's not impossible to break through earlier. When the bones in the body contain some energy essence, the bones can continue to grow after the breakthrough." Fang Ping, you might not know this, but many of the young people in the species retention program are trained this way. Fang Ping heard that and laughed. How extravagant. All for breaking through and becoming a martial artist a few years earlier and using energy essence to nourish the bones. This was also because these people's ancestors were top-notch powerhouses. To appease these top-notch powerhouses, the government really spared no effort. Of course, it might not have been provided by the government. It might have been provided by these powerhouses themselves. Won't they explode? Energy essence is very gentle. High-rank martial artists can usually seal this essence in their bones. When the time is right, it will naturally seep out and continue to nourish the bones. Wu Quishan said, then added, "Of course, the cost is not small. It's not really worth it. Breaking through a few years earlier might not be very beneficial. However, people were rich and willful. For top-notch powerhouses, sometimes they could still obtain a lot of energy essence. It was not difficult for these powerhouses to kill rank 9 monster plants." Fang Ping glanced at Fang Yuan and smiled. "We'll talk about it later. There's no rush, right? Vice-Chancellor, those people, are they strong?" "They're all right." Wu Quishan actually did not know too much, but after some thought, he still said, "I've met a few of them before. How should I put it? There are powerhouses as elders. They don't lack natural treasures since young. In addition to breaking through earlier, their ranks are not considered low. It's not uncommon to see rank 5 and 6 around 20 years old." Of course, Wu Quishan smiled again. "Don't worry. No matter how talented they are, and how they have elders to nurture them, it's not that easy to enter rank 7. It's difficult to achieve mentality-vitality fusion. If I meet you guys, it's not difficult to hack a few rank 6s to death. Don't take it too seriously. If they haven't reached rank 7, even if they achieve mentality-vitality fusion, it's nothing. Tang Feng alone can destroy a group. However, these people lack some actual combat experience. Actually, there are some powerhouses who don't want their descendants to become vitality martial artists. Some of them are still training in the catacombs." As he said that, Wu Quishan said faintly, "I even suspect that some of them may be training in the restricted area." Fang Ping's gaze flickered slightly. Beside him, Wang Jinyang could not help but say, "Restricted area?" Fang Ping turned his head and glanced at him, full of sympathy. He sighed and said, "Brother Wang, NMAU is so pitiful. Forget it. I'll send you some information later." Wang Jinyang's face turned green. "Do you have to hurt me like this?" But NMAU is really pitiful. He did not know much about the things they discussed. He did not even know what the restricted area was. After chatting for a while, Fang Mingrong brought out a box of alcohol. Most low-rank martial artists would not drink alcohol. Aspiring martial artists would not even eat snacks. However, at Fang Ping's level, it did not matter anymore. When his internal organs were honed to this level, he would even dare to eat steel. Although everyone had reached the point where they would not starve to death even if they did not eat, at this moment, they did not care about this. As they ate and drank, Fang Ping stood up and raised his glass. "To all the instructors, Today, because of my matter, the instructors came to my rescue from thousands of miles away. I, Fong Ping, will never forget this kindness. I hope that every year we'll have this day. We can all have a reunion and have a New Year's Eve dinner. Humanity will win. Everyone raised their glasses, each in deep thought. As for Fong Ping, after toasting the instructors, he toasted his parents. Finally, he raised his glass and clinked it with Wang Jinyang, smiling. Today, you risked your life to save me. I won't say any polite words. When Tianan's catacombs open, I'll accompany you. Thank you. It's my duty. Both of them clinked glasses. Beside them, Fong Yuan also raised her small glass of juice. As she clinked glasses with Fong Ping, she asked, "Brother, what's the catacombs?" Fong Ping smiled. "It's the evil sect martial artists base camp. These guys attacked me this time. Your brother is not someone to be trifled with. In a few days, when I'm strong enough, I'll kill them until rivers of blood flow." "Oh, right. Don't tell anyone, understand?" "Yes." Fong Yuan nodded heavily. She gritted her teeth and said, "When I get stronger, I want to go to the catacombs and kill people too." As soon as she said that, Fong Ping slapped her on the head and said exasperatedly, "Just stay at home and be at ease. Why should I kill anyone? Your brother is still alive. Do I need you to vent my anger on my behalf?" At this moment, he did not mind revealing some information to his parents and sister. At this time, Fong Ping felt that it would not take long before everyone knew about this. He said that it was the evil sect's base camp. Perhaps the government would publicize it as such. Fong Ping was beginning to suspect that the evil sect still existed. Was it to be used as a scapegoat? When the catacombs powerhouses came out, they destroyed the city and killed the people. It was the evil sect's scapegoat. When the catacombs appeared, it was the evil sect's scapegoat. In short, bad things and unexplainable things were the evil sect's problem. This way, many problems could be simplified. Fong Ping thought about it. The probability of the government publicizing it as such was not small. At the same time, some rank 1 and 2 martial artists could also seek out evil sect members for training. Killing them was easier than killing catacombs martial artists. For a moment, Fong Ping had a deeper thought. Evil sect? Was it someone who created it on purpose? Taking some martial artists with impure intentions to the evil sect and giving them a base camp to get rid of impurities. To be honest, Fong Ping had always thought that human martial artists were overly pure. Whether it was martial arts university powerhouses, military department powerhouses, or powerhouses from other worlds, most of them were really good people. Everyone was united. Even if there were internal disputes, it would rarely erupt into large-scale battles or internal strife. It was not only because of the catacombs' existence. Perhaps the evil sect's existence played a certain role. Some martial artists with bad intentions might have been taken away by the evil sect. If that's the case, then it'll be interesting. Fong Ping murmured in his heart. Perhaps the government now had the most detailed list of evil sect martial artists. When the time came for a war, the government would act instantly and destroy all the evil sect martial artists. When that time came, they would not have to worry too much about internal problems among humans. Some of the evil sect higher-ups who thought that they were well hidden might have been targeted long ago. Thinking deeper, if the Pope who came in the end was a spy sent by the human higher-ups, Mother Asterisk Kerr, it was exciting just thinking about it. It might not be impossible. Fong Ping shook his head. The powerhouse's thoughts were very complicated. Compared to them, he was a greenhorn. Even if he added some life experience from his past life, there was no way he could compare to these people. If these top-notch people with high positions were to use tricks, Fong Ping would be far from being their match. That night, Fong Ping drank a lot. No leaks. His internal organs were still there. As the alcohol entered his stomach, it was automatically digested. However, Fong Ping was still a little drunk. This time, the evil sect martial artist attack on him involved a lot of things. Some information that he did not understand before was presented in front of him one by one. This included Wu Quishan's strength. According to Old Man Li when he was drunk, Old Wu was much stronger than Zhou Dinghua. As for Zhou Dinghua, he fought 1 against 3 in the catacombs. Although he was almost killed, he still held on for a long time. There were a few rank 9 deputy commanders in the military department. Zhou Dinghua became a deputy commander with his rank 8 strength. He really could not be underestimated. As for Wu Quishan, he was much stronger than Zhou Dinghua. Wu Quishan was previously ranked 129 in the global Golden Body ranking and 12th in Sino Nation. This ranking was not considered low. As for Zhou Dinghua, he was previously ranked 62 in the world and 8th in Sino Nation. Wu Quishan was much stronger than him. Would that not mean that he was at least one of the top 5 rank 8s in Sino Nation? The Vice-Chancellor of CCMEU was currently only ranked 3rd in Sino Nation. Could Old Wu be stronger than the other party? Wu Quishan ignored Old Man Li's words and pretended not to hear him. No matter how strong a rank 8 was, it was still a rank 8. Moreover, so what if he was the first rank 8? Yes, it might not be a problem for a rank 8 to fight against a typical rank 9. However, defeating did not mean killing. Killing a rank 9 was not something that could be done just by being slightly stronger. For a rank 8 powerhouse to kill a rank 9, it was as difficult as ascending to heaven. Chun Yaoding was the first rank 7. But for him to kill a rank 8 powerhouse was also as difficult as ascending to heaven. Even a dabbler like Old Man Li might not be able to kill him. However, if it was Zheng Minghong, it might not be impossible. Perhaps Old Zheng was not that weak. There were not many rank 8s who were really weak. However, Zheng Minghong had not entered the catacombs for many years. He had been staying in the pill company. If not, he would go to the capital city catacombs for a stroll. These few years, there were indeed very few opportunities to fight. As for Chun Yaoding, over at the South Capital Catacombs, this old man often went there. He had even ambushed and killed a few catacombs rank 7s. If not for that, it would have been difficult for him to become the first rank 7. Other martial arts university vice-chancellors had a few divine weapons, but he had one. Other martial arts university vice-chancellors had a few egg-sized energy stones that they could take out as they pleased. Unless it was the school's public funds, they really did not have many private funds. Old Chen had one too. As for Old Wu, Fong Ping paid more attention to him. This white-haired old man would amaze the world with a single brilliant feat next time. He would be more careful. Snake King Fong Ping muttered in his heart. He did not understand this nickname before. Now, he had a slight impression of it. Mad Lion, Longevity Sword, Snake King, Unconquerable Wu, Fong Ping thought of many things. These fellows all had coquettish nicknames. What nickname should he give himself that would be domineering enough? Celestial Emperor? Saber King? God of War? Fong Ping muttered the latter part of the sentence aloud. Beside him, Wang Jinyang, who was also a little drunk, laughed in a half-drunk and half-sober manner. A nickname? How about Skeleton Ping? Get lost! Fong Ping cursed under his breath. You're the Skeleton King. Speaking of which, who was this fellow Old Wang in his past life? At this moment, Fong Ping also felt that these people were all ancient powerhouses who had been resurrected. I wonder if there are any ancient powerhouses who have known my name resurrected. Chapter 424. February 14th, the first day of the new year. On this day, early in the morning, the Nanjiang governor's office held a press conference to briefly explain what happened last night. There was no doubt that the cultists were running rampant, intending to destroy the stability of society and create chaos on New Year's Eve. MCMU Fong Ping and NMU Wang Jinyang stepped forward bravely and killed these evil cult members. Similarly, on this day, the Sino Rank 5 ranking list was updated. First place, Fong Ping. Today was the end of the new year, and Fong Ping would only be 20 years old after the new year. Fong Ping, 20 years old, Secretary General of MCMU's University Council, President of MCMU Martial Arts Society, Honorary Commander of Sun City, Sophomore Student of MCMU. These were Fong Ping's identity information. Battle Record. February 13th, 2010, killed a peak rank 6 martial artist, a middle stage rank 6 martial artist, and an early stage rank 6 martial artist. Wang Jinyang also entered the list and instantly entered the second place. Wang Jinyang, 21 years old, honorary deputy governor of Nanjiang, president of NMU Martial Arts Society, junior student of NMAU, combat record. February 13, 2010, fought with a peak rank 6 martial artist and survived. Compared to Fang Ping, old Wang's battle record paled in comparison. However, those who knew about it all knew how terrifying such a battle record was. For an early stage rank 5 martial artist to survive a fight with a peak rank 6 martial artist, this was the biggest miracle. Fighting didn't mean running away. If he really wanted to escape, it wouldn't be worth writing about. These two geniuses of this generation had truly displayed their invincibility this time. A rank 5 defeating a rank 6. The culprit was still a peak rank 6. Even if the evil sect martial artists were slightly weaker at the stage of peak rank 6, no matter how weak they would not be that weak. Prodigies were also human. It was very difficult for someone to surpass so many ranks to kill the other party. Fang Ping's current strength was displayed as a middle stage rank 5. Wang Jinyang was only an early stage rank 5. Capital City. Killed a peak rank 6. When Li Hansong saw the list, the only thought that came to his mind was that these lunatics were crazy to the extreme. CCMU is really too comfortable. No, I'm too comfortable. Li Hansong dared not imagine. Would he be able to keep his life if he encountered a peak rank 6? Not to mention killing him. It would be his greatest luck if he didn't die. What a terrifying fellow, Li Hansong mumbled. Then he steeled his heart. He couldn't go on like this. He would be left further and further behind. Therefore, right after New Year's Eve, Li Hansong put on his iron boxing gloves and went down to the catacombs. The reason why an expert was strong was not purely due to talent. No matter how talented one was, it did not mean that one would definitely become a powerhouse. How many people could be like Li Hansong? When they saw the ranking list, their first thought was to catch up and not be left behind. Almost without hesitation, they went to the catacombs to fight. Similarly, there were others. Yao, Qingjun, one man and one saber, began to venture deeper into the catacombs. The other schools' rank 4 and 5 powerhouses walked out of their homes one after another. This year could not be any better. Martial arts university students might not be strong in the 3 lower ranks, but no matter how weak the 3 middle ranks prodigies were, they would not be that weak. Even the martial artists of the military department, who had been fighting all year round, might not be stronger than them. These young prodigy martial artists had also fought their way out of thousands of ordinary people. The number of times they had fought in the catacombs was no less than those military department martial artists. Everyone else had set off for the catacombs, but some people had not received the news. Somewhere in the suburbs of Shanghai, Qin Fengqing was lazily basking in the sun. The sun was really nice today. It was the new year. What was the point of watching TV or surfing the internet? He, Qin Fengqing, would not do such things. He was already at peak rank 4. Later, he would think of a way to get some energy stones, mutate his celestial bridge, and enter rank 5. There was no reason for Fang Ping and the others to leave him far behind. As for his phone, he had switched it off. If he did not, there would be people harassing him every day. He was not in a hurry to go to school either. He did not know if Big Lion and the others were still in school. If they were, he would be walking into a trap if he went. I'll stay at home for a few more days and rest. Then I'll go find Fang Ping to mine in the catacombs. These people were busy catching up and advancing. Fang Ping was busy too. The moment the ranking list came out, Fang Ping was busy. Give me a title. Celestial Emperor or God of War or Saber King. What do you guys think? The members of the Martial Arts Association who received the call were on the verge of breaking down. Early in the morning, they received a call from Fang Ping. This powerhouse, who had just killed a peak rank 6 martial artist yesterday, was calling the Martial Arts Association. It was considered a big deal. The person in charge of the association who stayed behind to take the call personally. In the end, after understanding Fang Ping's purpose, the other party really had the urge to die. This was the first powerhouse on the list to call and ask for a title since the ranking list came out. The key was that this thing was not decided by them. The ranking list was actually made by the government. It was just that the Martial Arts Association was in charge of updating, operating, and correcting some mistakes. Titles were not given out casually. This thing could be said to be useful, but it was actually useless. However, powerhouses who received a title were definitely top-notch powerhouses of the same rank. Fong Ping was currently the first among rank 5. Logically speaking, it was fine to give one. However, how could he decide it himself? This thing was publicly recognized. If many people called it, then it would be recognized. The other party stuttered for a long time, unable to give an accurate answer no matter what. Finally, Fong Ping hung up the phone helplessly. After he hung up the phone, the person in charge of the Martial Arts Association was so happy that he almost cried. If he was entangled by Fong Ping any longer, he would also break down. Regarding Fong Ping asking for a title, the others were not surprised. At this moment, everyone was downstairs at the Fong residence. Wu Quishan waited for him to hang up the phone. He did not harp on this and said, "We'll go back first. I'll invite rank 8 martial artists to solve your problem as soon as possible. However, if you do that, you'll probably lose all your gains this time." Fong Ping sighed and said helplessly, "With a cost price of 5 billion, I can sell it for at least 12 to 15 billion, right? The market price might even exceed 20 billion. That's it?" Wu Quishan said lightly, "You need to prepare at least 200 grams of energy essence. It might not be enough, 300 grams is about right. If you want to exchange for this from the government, you'll have to give away at least half of your 5 billion share. As for the rest, hiring some rank 8s should be enough." Fong Ping nodded helplessly. "All right then, how long will it take for the 2 major companies to send it to us?" "About 3 days. Including the time needed to gather a few rank 8s, it'll take at least 5 days. After 5 days, you'll return to MCMAU and train your body." 5 days, Fong Ping calculated for a while. During this period, he could only rely on wealth to restore vitality. It would consume at least 1 or 2 billion wealth. Thinking about it, Fong Ping's heart ached. This time he had really suffered a huge loss. If it were not for the evil sect causing trouble, his original plan was to enter the Magic City catacombs first, mine, accumulate, and wait until he achieved peak rank 5 before honing the last 3 golden bones. This way, he should be able to withstand the activation of the golden bones. In the end, man proposes, God disposes. Now, with this mess, although he might achieve peak rank 5 in advance, the consumption was too great. Fine, if I don't lose the child, I won't be able to catch the wolf. Fong Ping sighed. Using money to exchange for ability and time was worth it. But it was really too much. Rank 7s and 7s could not afford to spend so much money. Otherwise, rank 8s would not accept employment. Rank 9s probably could not afford it either. Wu Chuan, that pauper, had a net worth of 10 billion. Unless he sold his divine weapon to see if he could gather so much money. Wu Quishan did not say much. In the next moment, he performed the flight step and disappeared directly. The others also performed the flight step and followed. At their level, driving a car or taking a plane was too troublesome. They might as well fly back directly. "Goodbye, instructors. I'll miss you all." Fong Ping said some polite words, but they turned a deaf ear to him. "Miss my A**s. Every time this kid missed them, nothing good came out of it." After sending off the MCMEU instructors, Chen Yaoding was also sent off at the same time. The old man did not say much, but the way he looked at him was a little unfriendly. His expression said that if Fong Ping dared to be a heartless man, he would dare to hack Fong Ping to death. Fong Ping was very conflicted. This time, Chen Yaoding also had a lot of gains. SCMAU had also built its own production line. Of course, SCMU's gains were limited. In addition to some secret recipes and technical problems, the production cost was much higher. But this was a good start. Having a self-built production line was the foundation of a famous university. In the past, only CCMAU, MCMAU, and FMS had it. Now SCMU had it too. As for whether the higher-ups would agree, Chen Yaoting did not think it was a big problem. He was about to achieve rank 8. Once he became a rank 8 golden body martial artist, SCMEU's status would rise. Nowadays, there were not many martial arts universities with golden body powerhouses. CCMEU, MCMAU, Sino Nation Martial Arts University, and First Military School all had rank 8 golden bodies. 9 States Military School actually had one too, but it was more in name only. The rank 8 of the other party was only the honorary vice-chancellor of the school. In reality, he was mainly in charge of the military department. If Chen Yaoting broke through to rank 8, then SCMU's status as a famous university would be stable. As for NMAU, although Wang Jinyang had mentioned this, the chances of getting permission were not high. Still, if it was done in Nanjiang's name, then there was still hope. Amidst the chaos, Fang Ping sent these people away. Wang Jinyang had also gone home a long time ago. Back home, his parents were quietly packing. Yesterday's battle had made them see many things clearly. It was hard to leave their homeland. However, no matter how reluctant they were, it was time to go. Their son had a villa in Magic City that had been renovated. In the past, Fang Mingrong and his wife thought it did not matter whether they moved or not. But now, their enemies were at their door. If they did not leave, were they supposed to let their son stay at home every day? As they were packing, Fang Yuan was also on the phone. Actually, she was also very reluctant. Her shop had just opened, and she had thousands of sisters here. However, in the battle yesterday, her brother was almost killed. She could still see it. Wang Jinyang was beaten until his stomach was penetrated. What about her brother? Until now, he was still wearing a military coat and leather gloves, covering himself up tightly. Fang Yuan wanted to take a look, but Fang Ping slapped her a few times. Fang Yuan cried so hard that Fang Ping thought he had hurt her. Little did he know that his sister was not stupid. She had already guessed that he must have been seriously injured and dared not show her. Xiaoling, I'll be in Magic City in a few days. Remember to call me when you miss me. Xiuyu, I'll leave the matters in the society and the company to you. From now on, contact me through the phone and the internet. Yes, my brother is the first among rank 5. My brother said that I can become a martial artist soon. When that time comes, I'll also be on the list and get first place. Remember to look at the list. Fang Yuan's phone call lasted for a long time. Fang Ping, on the other hand, sat on the balcony with the broken window, looking outside. It was hard to leave one's homeland. If one day, not only did humans have to leave their homeland like Sun City, but even Earth as well, what would that feel like? The more I know, the more I'll understand how insignificant I am. Once upon a time, he had thought that becoming a martial artist was a great thing. However, at this moment, so what if he was a rank 9? So, what if he was at the top? The species conservation plan had allowed Fang Ping to see through too much. Those powerhouses at the top were also somewhat pessimistic. Otherwise, it would not have come to this. On the second day of the Lunar New Year, Fang Ping gathered with Wu Zhihao and the others and had a few drinks. They talked about life and the future. These people were not considered weak among their peers. Wu Zhihao and the others had received 10 million from Fang Ping previously. They had been cultivating diligently. Now, they had all entered middle stage rank 1. Upper stage rank 1 was not far away. However, Fang Ping did not feel much about this realm. They had hopes of entering rank 2 in the second semester of their sophomore year. When they graduated, they might be able to reach rank 3. In the past, in martial arts universities, especially normal martial arts universities, rank 3 graduates were synonymous with elites. Now, what was the use of rank 3 strength? However, after this, the energy concentration between heaven and earth would increase, and the supply to each school would increase. Everyone's cultivation speed would increase. Those who could get into martial arts universities, especially martial arts university students from normal families, were actually quite talented. This was a crisis, but it was also an opportunity. Perhaps these people would have greater breakthroughs. Nanjiang's catacombs had also opened. If they entered the catacombs, these people might have some fortuitous encounters. This was also something that was hard to say. On the third day of the Lunar New Year, Fong Ping's aunt and her family came to Sun City. Fong Ping did not give much care to his aunt and her family. The only thing he gave them were 2 houses in Sun City. Whether they sold it or kept it, they could do whatever they wanted with the 2 houses. His cousins were still young, so Fong Ping only gave them some normal vitality pills and nothing else. Sometimes, being ordinary was not necessarily a bad thing. Fong Ping was gathering and saying his goodbyes. His parents and Fong Yuan were the same. The Fong family was moving away. Actually, many people in Sun City knew about this. On New Year's Eve, Fong Ping had announced this to the public. The people of Sun City did not know if they should feel sad or lucky. With Fong Ping gone, those powerhouses who could destroy a city would not come to Sun City again, would they? However, Fong Ping was Sun City's glory. He was their bragging rights and their pride. Leaving just like that still made them feel a little complicated. Fong Ping brought his family and prepared to move to Magic City. Sun City's other pride, Wang Jinyang, whose brilliance had been overshadowed by Fong Ping, was also preparing to move. This time, the other party had attacked Fong Ping. Next time, it might be him. There were too few powerhouses in a small Sun City. If he continued to let his family stay here, not only would his family's safety be at risk, but if another war broke out, Sun City might be destroyed. With these considerations in mind, the Wang family also began to move. On the 5th day of the first month, Fong Ping did not have much, but his parents packed a car full of things, hired a truck, and headed to Magic City together. On this day, people came to send them off. There were not many who saw Fong Ping off. There were also not many who saw his parents off. However, the dozens of chattering little girls made the atmosphere of parting dissipate a little. These little girls chattered nonstop and lingered around Fong Yuan reluctantly. They wished they could chat until the sky turned dark. In the end, Fong Yuan waved goodbye to these girls who might not be able to step into the martial arts world for the rest of their lives. Commander by Jin Shan, along with a group of government personnel, also watched the Fong family leave quietly. On this day, Fong Ping was not the only one who left. Elsewhere, Wang Jinyang also left. Bai Jinshan was silent for a long time. Without saying a word, he turned around and walked toward the house of Commander. Sun City had produced 2 prodigies, but now they had to leave. It made people feel bad. On the 18th of February, Sun City's Fong Ping and Wang Jinyang left with their families. Chapter 425. February 19th, MCMU Southern Area, Energy Room. Chen Yunxi asked worriedly, Fong Ping, are you really okay? Fong Ping was wrapped in a large cotton jacket. In a situation where most martial artists wore only unlined clothing, he seemed out of place. Fong Ping's family arrived in Magic City yesterday, and Chen Yunxi had already given up waiting in South Capital the day before yesterday, arriving even earlier than Fong Ping. If Fong Ping had not said that he was busy yesterday and could not disturb them, she would have gone to look for him. When Fong Ping finally arrived at school, seeing Fong Ping wearing a thick cotton jacket, Chen Yunxi was extremely worried. What could happen to me? Fong Ping smiled. Wearing a cotton jacket to keep warm. I wanted to experience what it's like to be a normal person. Chen Yunxi bit her lip and said softly, Grandpa said that you were injured. Have you recovered? Yes, it's just a small injury. Fong Ping was nonchalant. He chuckled and said, a few rank 6 martial artists can hurt me? I've fought with a rank 9 before, and it's not a big deal. The few people who were ignored looked at each other. After a while, Zhao Lei said sullenly, Then why did you come to the energy room? Fong Ping glanced at him and said impatiently, I'm here to wait for someone. Is there a problem? Even if I'm not waiting for someone, can I cultivate? As for you guys, I'm here to take a look. Why are you all crowding around me? Zhao Lei continued to say sullenly, Dean Li said that you've become a skeleton. Today, you're here to recover from your injuries. We're here to take a look. What? Fong Ping was shocked. Who said that? On the other side, Yang Xiaoman said faintly, Dean Li said that we shouldn't court death. If we meet someone of a higher rank than us, we should behave and escape first. He also gave us a negative example, saying that someone was beaten into a skeleton and told us to remember this lesson. Fong Ping's expression kept changing. Beside him, Chen Yinshi was not too sure. She glanced at Fong Ping's large cotton jacket and wanted to say something, but in the end, she did not speak. Some things, since they had already happened, it was useless to ask again. Fong Ping cursed in his heart. Old man Li, this big mouth. The old man did not cultivate mentality and still had the time to gossip. No wonder he could not become a true rank bait. As they were talking, Huang Jing walked over. Huang Jing glanced at the people surrounding Fong Ping and did not say much. The others greeted him one after another. Huang Jing nodded slightly. Then he looked at Fong Ping and said, "The vice-chancellor has gone to pick them up. You should get ready. Whether or not you can recover depends on this. If we fail this time, we'll be in trouble." If he failed to forge a semi-golden body, he would lose his flesh and blood. This meant that he would not be able to enter upper stage or peak rank 5. In this case, Fong Ping's cultivation from now on would be troublesome. How much longer could Fong Ping last? Putting aside the question of how much further he could go, it was hard to say whether the golden bones could survive on their own. Fong Ping nodded slightly. He took a deep breath and said through gritted teeth, "There's definitely no problem. It's 12 billion. Yes, 12 billion. This time, Wu Quishan had generously invited rank 8s from all over the world to come to the rescue. 1 billion per person. He only needed to pay a little bit of imperishable substance. There were 8 rank 8 martial artists invited this time. This was a sky-high price of 8 billion. In addition, 400 grams of energy essence. In fact, the officials also had a fixed price for energy essence, 10 million per gram. It was 10 times more expensive than cultivation-aiding energy stones, and it was the kind that had a price but no supply. This time, the 2 major companies went back to report the news and finally agreed to MCMEU's conditions. However, Wu Quishan was only willing to use the 2 billion quota of pills and weapons in exchange for 400 grams of energy essence. It was hard to say who would lose and who would gain. In the end, the higher-ups still agreed to Wu Quishan's request. Fong Ping's flesh was broken and could not be healed. As the current number 1 rank 5, the number 1 martial arts university student, MCMU would definitely not let it go if they did not save Fong Ping. The incident that had already been settled might start again. Therefore, 2 billion quota was exchanged for 400 grams of energy essence. As for the remuneration paid to the 8 rank 8 powerhouses, although it was 1 billion per person, Wu Quishan said that they would be paid in pills and weapons. The rank 8s were also very willing. They were even more satisfied than cash. Fong Ping's remaining 3 billion quota was paid out by Wu Quishan at 8 billion. No one felt that there was anything wrong with it. The rank 8s, on the other hand, were quite happy. It was said that because of this matter, many rank 8 powerhouses who were initially not interested took the initiative to help. In the end, the number of people was enough, which made these powerhouses feel a little regretful. It was not so easy to obtain a large number of pills and weapons. Even if they had the money, they might not be able to purchase them on a large scale. Sino Nation was considered good. There were many catacombs entrances and a lot of production. Some countries might only have 1 catacombs entrance. The production was limited. Pills and weapons were extremely scarce. When they heard that there were people in Sino Nation who wanted to hire them, and they did not need to fight, they just needed to use some imperishable substances. Some rank 8s from small countries could not wait to fly over. However, Sino Nation had requirements for foreign powerhouses to enter the country. There was also a review. In addition, Fong Ping's matter was quite urgent. Some rank 8 powerhouses still had missions to complete. Wu Quishan could not wait. In the end, he invited 5 rank 8 powerhouses from his country, plus 3 rank 8s from neighboring countries. When the number was enough, the mission was canceled. When they heard 12 billion, the few people nearby were stunned. Zhao Lei was a little confused. What 12 billion? Fong Ping glanced at him. Suddenly, he did not feel the pinch anymore. He said in a relaxed manner, "It's nothing. Didn't I suffer some injuries? I was afraid that there would be sequelae. I invited 8 rank 8 powerhouses to use imperishable substances to heal me. I paid 12 billion as remuneration. Zhao Lei was stunned. Yang Xiaoman's mouth was wide open. Fu Changding, who had just walked in, was also stunned. Song Yingji, who was pretending not to see Fong Ping, could not help but swallow his saliva. Are you kidding us? In order to heal you, you hired 8 golden body powerhouses to use imperishable substances to heal you? 12 billion. What kind of concept was this? Song Yingji calculated for a while. He planned to return with a full load every time he entered the catacombs. Each time he entered, he would earn 100 million. In a year, he would enter once every 2 months. After all, every time he entered, he would need time to come back and recuperate. 6 times a year, that would be 600 million. For a rank 6 martial artist, this should be an incomparably huge gain. In this way, it would be 20 years without eating, drinking, or cultivating. Every year, he would be in a life and death situation. Only then could he accumulate 12 billion wealth. In reality, this was the most ideal situation. Entering the catacombs 120 times, other things aside, he would still have to buy pills to heal when he was injured. Otherwise, he would have died a long time ago. Fong Ping, this kid, could casually spend more than 10 billion to hire a rank 8 to heal him. Comparing oneself to others would really infuriate one to death. Song Yingji was still a rank 6 powerhouse. The others had low abilities, their gains were even smaller. According to their abilities, they would not be able to earn so much in their entire lives. The few of them were stunned. Chun Yunxi, on the other hand, said worriedly, "Your injuries are so serious. Didn't Grandpa say that it would be fine?" Grandpa lied to her again. Fong Ping was such a stingy person. Why would he spend so much money to hire someone to heal him for no reason? If it was a minor injury, MCMEU did not need to seek help from outsiders at all. MCMEU also had rank 8 martial artists. They also had their own pill production line. There were also many healing pills. Fong Ping coughed softly and laughed. It's not about the injury. I'm preparing to forge a semi-golden body and achieve peak rank 5 in advance. After this time, I'll be a peak rank 5 martial artist. It's worth it to spend a little money to speed up my cultivation. Otherwise, I'll need some time to achieve peak rank 5. After today, I'll achieve rank 6 soon. The following rank 7, 8, and 9 won't be difficult either. Tell me, is it worth it to spend some money to help me become a Grandmaster powerhouse sooner? Really? Chun Yunxi was delighted at first. Then, she looked conflicted. Peak rank 5? She was only peak rank 3. Rank 4 was still some time away. Even if she was rank 4 now, it was too slow. Not to mention Chun Yunxi, Song Yingji, who was beside her, was now staring at the ceiling. Peak rank 5. F***CK. There was no way he could go on like this. He had cultivated hard for decades and achieved rank 6 at 50 years old. Even if he had only achieved rank 6 not long ago, he, Song Yingji, was already considered a genius of his generation. Nowadays, there were only a few Grandmaster powerhouses of the older generation who became Grandmasters at 50 years old in recent years. In the past, becoming a Grandmaster at 70 or 80 years old was considered lucky. MCMU's old Vice-Chancellor, an 80-year-old rank 8, was called a little fellow by many older generations. How old was Fong Ping? 20 years old. 20 years old, peak rank 5. Perhaps he could achieve rank 6 at 20 years old. How long would it take for him to become a Grandmaster? Even if he delayed his time in rank 6, the probability of Fong Ping becoming a Grandmaster before 25 years old was extremely high. In another 5 years, could he, Song Yingji, achieve upper stage rank 6? Thinking about it made his stomach full of bitterness. Peak rank 5, everyone had a complicated expression on their faces. Could he not be so fast? It was really hard to be Fong Ping's classmate. These geniuses, prodigies, did not treat themselves as prodigies at this moment. Compared to Fong Ping, they were trash. Seeing that these people were devastated, Fong Ping smiled and said nothing. Huang Jing comforted him. The most important thing in martial arts cultivation is endurance. Practicing martial arts is not something that can be done in a day, Song Yingji said bitterly. Vice-Chancellor, wait until his rank surpasses yours. Then you can comfort us. Huang Jing's expression stiffened. He glanced at him and said after a while, there hasn't been anyone in charge of the health department for a long time. Little Song, you should report there in a few days and change the environment. Song Yingji's expression changed again and again. He did not make a sound, nor did he reply. Old Huang would soon forget about this matter. Even if he did not forget, he would not go, even if he was beaten to death. Huang Jing glanced at him and snorted in his heart. You think I can't punish you? Fong Ping looked at Song Yingji sympathetically. I'm not the one who asked you to go to the health department this time. The grandmasters in the school are all sinister. Just wait to be taught a lesson. As they chatted, after a while, Huang Jing's expression turned serious, and he said in a low voice, they're here. As he said that, Huang Jing walked out. Fong Ping and the others hurriedly followed. It was Fong Ping's first time seeing so many rank 8 powerhouses. He had to broaden his horizons. Outside the energy room, Wu Quishan and a few powerhouses were chatting happily. One of them, an old man with slightly dark skin, walked to the front of the energy room and suddenly said in slightly different Mandarin, Sino Nation's martial arts world is really not something we can compare to. This energy cultivation room is even bigger than the royal families. The old man's face was full of envy. This was only a martial arts university in Sino Nation. However, this huge energy cultivation room was even bigger than the royal family's cultivation room. Not every country could have a cultivation room that could accommodate hundreds of people. Some small countries could not afford to build one. Even if they could, they might not have enough source stones. It would be a waste to build one. After the dark-skinned old man finished speaking, another middle-aged man who wasn't tall sighed softly and said, Your Siam royal family even built an energy cultivation room. My Khmer royal family only has one cultivation room for the princes and princesses to cultivate. These words sounded extremely bleak. However, this was also the truth. These 2 rank 8 golden body powerhouses were the top group of powerhouses in their countries. In Siam, there was only 1 rank 9, 3 rank 8s, and more than 10 rank 7s. However, they had to guard very few catacombs. There was only 1 entrance. Khmer was even worse. They did not even have a rank 9. Of course, their country was also small. They had more than 10 million people. There was no catacombs entrance within their borders. Instead, they guarded 1 catacombs entrance together with the 2 neighboring countries. 3 countries guarding together. The pressure was less, but it also meant that the output was less. The output of 1 catacombs entrance could not even be satisfied with pills, let alone higher-end energy stones. MCMU was Sino Nation's highest level of martial sciences science. It gathered a large number of Sino Nation's prodigies. Naturally, these cultivation facilities could not be compared to theirs. Not to mention these powerhouses from small countries. Even the few Sino Nation's local powerhouses who followed along were somewhat envious. One of the middle-aged female powerhouses chuckled softly. Vice-Chancellor Wu, I heard that MCMU even built a celestiality cultivation room? Wu Quishan chuckled. We do, but it can't satisfy all rank 6 martial artists' cultivation needs. It's better than nothing. When these words reached everyone's ears, they felt even more upset. It was good enough that they had it, but they still had to satisfy everyone's cultivation needs. What was this called? The well-fed did not know the hunger of the starving. As they were talking, Huang Jing and the others walked out. Huang Jing probably knew these powerhouses. He smiled and greeted them. Fong Ping and the others, on the other hand, bowed hurriedly to show their respect. Including Wu Quishan, at this moment, there were 9 rank 8s and 1 rank 7 gathered here. Not far away, Old Man Li also walked over leisurely, including him a fake rank 8 that was 10 rank 8s. With his strength, it was enough to kill a typical rank 9. The few rank 8 powerhouses first exchanged a few pleasantries with Huang Jing. Then, one after another, they set their sights on Fong Ping, Sino Nation's current #1 prodigy, the #1 rank 5 powerhouse. The few rank 8 powerhouses, especially, felt the same aura from Fong Ping. Their pupils contracted slightly. The aura of a golden body powerhouse. Everyone's gaze fell on him. Then they looked at Wu Quishan with an inquiring look. Wu Quishan did not hide anything now. He smiled and said, Fong Ping has forged golden bones in advance. However, his physique is not enough, causing his flesh to collapse. I have no choice but to ask for your help. Using imperishable substances and energy essence, let him forge a body that can withstand golden bones. Previously, the few rank 8s thought that it was for healing. Only now did they know that it was not healing, but to forge Fong Ping's golden body. Their expressions were fluctuating. Most people still did not know that Fong Ping had forged golden bones in advance. The tanned old man from Siam could not help but ask, Vice-Chancellor Wu, how can a rank 5 forge golden bones? Wu Quishan smiled. I don't know about this. Everyone, don't worry. As long as we supply according to the agreed amount, it will be fine. I won't let your vitality be hurt. The few of them frowned slightly. They did not ask anymore. However, the way they looked at Fong Ping was a little different. A rank 5 martial artist who had forged golden bones. Such a person could not be treated as a normal rank 5. Moreover, the other party was a group of the most talented people in Sino Nation. That was even more important. Everyone calculated in their hearts for a while. They all nodded. Wu Quishan clearly did not have the intention to explain in detail. Then, they did not ask anymore. Later, when Fong Ping was forging his flesh, they would also be able to see some things. At this moment, Fong Ping did not care about everyone's gaze. He only felt that these people were really poor. He had heard the few rank 8s conversation earlier. With the country's resources, they could only build one cultivation room for a few princes and princesses to cultivate. How miserable! If he had known this earlier, could he have hired them for 500 million? Also, these fellows were so poor. If he wanted to kill rank 8 and rank 9 martial artists in the future, could he also spend money to hire them? However, after thinking about it, Fong Ping felt that it was better to forget about it. These fellows were so poor. If they saw the benefits, would they not be jealous? They might even kill him while they were at it. Moreover, this time, they were only supplying imperishable substances. Although it would hurt the body, it was not dangerous. Hiring servants to fight in the war could endanger their lives. Amidst the chatter, everyone entered the energy room. Fong Ping did not delay either. Very quickly, he took off his jacket. When he took off his jacket, everyone's expression changed. His injuries are so serious. Song Yingji's expression was solemn. He knew that Fong Ping was injured earlier, but he did not expect his injuries to be this serious. Other than his head, there were not many intact pieces of flesh on Fong Ping's body. At this moment, his internal organs were clearly visible. Song Yingji's expression was solemn. The eyes of the few girls present were red. Chen Yunxi bit her lip hard, not saying a word. Fong Ping's injuries were much more serious than expected. If it was someone else, they might have died long ago. Old Man Li, who followed behind, was not surprised at all. He said casually, Fong Ping, take off your underwear. You're almost a skeleton. Wearing this thing is a hindrance. Fong Ping's expression darkened. He ignored him and walked straight into the cultivation room. The few rank 8 powerhouses looked solemn. Someone said softly, there's almost no flesh left. Regenerating flesh is harder than forging on the original foundation. Wu Quishan nodded. That's true. But don't worry, everyone. We've also prepared a lot of energy essence. It's enough for him to complete the repair of his flesh. What you need to do is to help him complete the rebirth of his flesh for a period of time. During this period, he will complete the forging of his flesh. Energy essence. Is it pure energy essence, or the kind that has been modified by rank 9 monster plants? Modified life essence. Wu Quishan said, then added, as for energy stones, we've also prepared a lot. There's no shortage of energy. Big move. The few of them were amazed. What a big move. At this moment, everyone could see that in the cultivation room, a large amount of energy was being released. It was not life essence, but the burning of energy stones. Wu Quishan did not mention the money. It was sponsored by the university. MCMU's huge gains this time had a lot to do with Fangping. Without Fangping being attacked, without Zhao Yu, the two major companies would not have compromised so easily. Fangping was seriously injured, but MCMU would not be stingy. Large amounts of high-ranked energy stones were being burned and released energy as if they were free. Fangping, on the other hand, did not care much about this. He had previously lent the university tens of billions of energy stones. He did not even plan to take this back. Now that the university had a huge gain, it was nothing to spend a little. At this moment, Fangping was adjusting his condition. Wealth, 18 billion converted vitality. 5,500 calories, 5,500 calories mentality. 879 hertz, 879 hertz, bones honed. 177 bones, 100%, 29 bones, 90% storage space. For cubic meters, plus energy shield. 10,000 well/minute. Although he had spent money this time and lost everything, his wealth had indeed increased, an increase of more than 10 billion. Compared to a few days ago, although it did not seem like it had increased by 10 billion, Fangping had also spent a lot of wealth these few days, at least around 1 billion. A share of 5 billion was definitely not just 5 billion, it had more than doubled. I've spent more than 10 billion. I must complete the forging. Fangping took a deep breath. This time, he must not fail. Otherwise, aside from spending money, he would not be able to recast his flesh. That would be a big problem. 18 billion wealth might not be able to keep his condition from worsening. When his wealth was depleted, other parts of his body would collapse. Could he really survive with the golden bones? I'm ready. Thank you, Grandmasters. Fangping bowed slightly toward the outside. Whether he could succeed or not depended on what happened next. Outside the room, a few rank 8 powerhouses also nodded slightly. Then, 4 of them pressed their hands on the funnels, a golden glow appearing in their hands. Wu Quishan growled, "Prepare for flesh rebirth." "Got it," Fangping responded. Without delay, he quickly began to absorb the golden glow that flowed into the cultivation room. The next moment, his originally bare arms, chest began to emit a sizzling sound. Inside Fangping's body, a large amount of vitality force emerged continuously. The surrounding energy was also quickly absorbed into his body and began to help the imperishable substance recover his flesh and blood. Outside the room, Chen Yunxi and the others looked nervous. Old Man Li's expression was solemn too. In his seriousness, there was some regret. If he had not used up all the life essence in the catacombs that day, Fangping would not have to do this at all. A large amount of life essence produced a qualitative change. Its effect was stronger than that of the imperishable substance. In Fangping's condition, forging half a golden body, a few dozen caddies would be considered a compliment. He could definitely recover his flesh and blood. Now, however, it was useless to regret. Moreover, the situation that day was tense. There was no way to keep those life essences. I hope he can recover. Old Man Li sighed softly in his heart. If he did not succeed, then he could only think of a way to seize more life essence from the catacombs. Although the government had it, with such a large consumption, forget Fangping, who was a rank 5 prodigy. Even if he was a rank 8, the government might not be able to pay such a huge price to save him. Just as everyone was worrying, Fangping's body inside the room was rapidly covered with a layer of blood-red flesh and blood at a speed visible to the naked eye. The sizzling sound did not stop. Other than the golden glow, there was also an extremely dense vitality force rolling on the surface of his body. This scene also attracted the attention of a few rank 8 powerhouses. Chapter 426. Meridians, should I reconstruct them or not? In the cultivation room, Fangping looked at the recovery of his flesh with a serious expression. This was the best opportunity to reconstruct his meridians. However, when Old Man Li forged his golden body previously, he did not reconstruct his meridians. Fong Ping suddenly gritted his teeth. He was not going to reconstruct it. At this point, there was not much meaning in reconstructing meridians. Old Man Li could circulate vitality force through the cells in his body, so he could do the same. The next moment, Fong Ping directly absorbed a large amount of imperishable substance, completely regenerating his flesh and blood. Outside the room, the Grandmaster's expressions changed slightly. Wu Quishan remained calm and collected, while Old Man Li frowned slightly. Fong Ping did not reconstruct his meridians. The flesh has been reborn. At this moment, Fong Ping was no longer a skeleton. He had returned to his normal state. However, the golden bones in Xiao Qin's body continued to tremble. His body, which had just recovered, was still unable to support the power of the golden bones. Fong Ping frowned, continuing to absorb the golden imperishable substance. On the other hand, he was also absorbing huge amounts of energy into his body. Outside, Wu Quishan no longer hesitated. He took out a crystal bottle and poured all the life essence into it. The few rank 8s were breathing rapidly. Motherf asterisk Kerr, how extravagant. MCMU's extravagance was boundless. In order to let Fong Ping reconstruct his flesh and blood, the price he had to pay made them feel sorry for MCMAU. Among the few rank 8s who did not make a move, one of them said softly, "Vice-Chancellor Wu, your university really values Fong Ping." Wu Quishan smiled faintly. "It's his own money." The few of them were slightly stunned. Wu Quishan did not explain. This kid was rich, and the school still needed a large sum of money from him. When the life essence energy surged into the cultivation room, Fong Ping hurriedly began to absorb it. The mellow life energy and the imperishable substance started to stabilize his body. Fong Ping breathed a sigh of relief, but he did not dare to relax. He was too lazy to absorb the energy from the energy stones in the room. It was too time-consuming, and he still had to absorb and convert them. In the next moment, an almost limitless amount of vitality surged out of Fong Ping's body and began to transform every cell in his body. Old Man Li had spent a few years to allow his cells to withstand vitality force and allow vitality to spread densely. That was because this step consumed far too much vital energy. Fong Ping, on the other hand, did not care. He still had 18 billion wealth points, which could be converted into 18 million calories vitality, which was equivalent to the total vitality of 1,800 peak rank 6 martial artists. Old Man Li's peak vitality was only 10,000 cal previously. Now that his vitality had been depleted, it would take at least 2 to 3 days to replenish it. Moreover, the consumption was not low. After a year, Old Man Li would only be able to recover 1,000,000 cal of vitality. In reality, Old Man Li would not do that. The consumption was too high, and he could not afford it. During those years, he only tempered his body every now and then, not every day and night. Based on his consumption rate, the vitality he would eventually consume would be about 1,000,000 cal. However, he had been doing it for a long time. Fong Ping wanted to complete this step in one go. When endless vitality force surged into Fong Ping's body, the excessive vitality force caused his flesh to crumble. The imperishable substance and life essence were also constantly repairing his flesh wounds, giving him enough time to hone his flesh cells. After a few minutes, just as Fong Ping was honing his cells, he suddenly frowned. Then, the piece of flesh he had tempered suddenly shattered. "No!" Fong Ping frowned immediately. Outside the room, Chen Yunxi asked hurriedly, "Dean, what's wrong with him?" Old Man Li suppressed the irritation in his heart and said in a low voice, "It's nothing. There's just too much energy. His physique is not strong enough yet, causing it to crumble. He'll be fine after adapting for a while." "This won't do." Fong Ping frowned. Suddenly, he thought of something. In the next moment, Fong Ping shattered all his flesh. Outside the room, Wu Quishan suddenly shouted, "Fong Ping, what are you doing?" Did this kid know how much imperishable substance and life essence had been used to help him recover his flesh? Fong Ping's hoarse voice could be heard. "I know. Don't worry, Vice-Chancellor." Having said that, flesh appeared on Fong Ping's hand bone again. This time, Fong Ping did not use vitality force to hone it. Instead, he condensed a large amount of celestiality and enveloped the hand bone directly. He thought of the last time when Lu Fengru forced the fusion. Celestiality was stronger than vitality force. Logically speaking, the golden skeleton and golden body should be able to withstand the power of heaven and earth. If he wanted his flesh to withstand the power of golden bones, then he had to forge a body that could withstand celestiality. His previous body that could only withstand vitality force was still too weak. Fong Ping's action made the few rank 8s from outside dumbfounded. The tanned old man from Siam could not help but ask, "Vice-Chancellor Wu, is your school's prodigy a rank 8 or a rank 5? Was this really a rank 5 martial artist? Unlimited vitality, golden bones, and celestiality. Do you think I'll believe you if you say he's a rank 5? Wu Quishan was speechless. Another powerhouse beside him smiled bitterly. Rank 5? I see that his internal organs have not turned golden yet. There are signs of energy leakage. The Sanjiao gate should not be closed, but this. However, this rank 5 did not fit the image of a rank 5 at all. The few powerhouses from Sino Nation were also amazed. Among them, the rank 8 female in green said enviously, MCMEU is really going to produce a monster. According to this development, if he condenses a golden body this time, once the Sanjiao gate is closed and his mentality continues to grow, he can achieve rank 8 in the shortest time possible. Wu Quishan chuckled. Doesn't your Qingdian mountain have a few prodigies too? The woman in green smiled bitterly. A 25-year-old rank 5. If it were in the past, Qingdian mountain would naturally be proud. However, martial arts universities are extremely powerful now. Rank 4 and 5 students are emerging, not to mention Fong Ping, NMU Wang Jinyang, CCMU Li Hansong, including your schools Chen Wenlong and Qin Fengqing. These people are extremely young. Chen Wenlong is 23 this year. Qin Fengqing should be reaching rank 5 soon. And the woman in green looked at Chun Yunxi and the others beside her. Her expression became even more bitter. She said softly, these students are not that old, right? They are all Fong Ping's classmates. Then they are sophomores? The woman was speechless. These people should be about the same age as Fong Ping, around 20 years old. Chun Yunxi and Zhao Lei had reached peak rank 3. Fu Changding was almost there. Yang Xiaoman and the others should not take too long. Rank 4 was right around the corner. Would rank 5 need 2 years? Even if it was 2 years, they would only be 22 years old. Qingtian Mountain had a few prodigies who had stepped into rank 5 at around 25 years old. In the sect world, they were famous for a while. However, compared to martial arts universities, they were still far behind. The woman did not talk much about Qingtian Mountain. Instead, she talked about something else. She said, Guangxing Temple's little monk Chanji has entered rank 6. He's only 30 years old. Guangxing Temple's heritage is deep. High Grandmaster Zhao's Wangwu Mountain has also produced many prodigies in recent years. They are much stronger than our Qingtian Mountain. Wanshan Temple. At the mention of Wanshan Temple, the woman in green suddenly frowned. I heard that someone found the old monk from Wanshan Temple. His name is also on the ranking list. Is he back? Wanshan Temple was the sect where the rank 3 monk Fong Ping had challenged Monk Jessa was from. Fong Ping beat him up. Later, that guy beat Yi Qing up. Before this, Wanshan Temple did not have a grandmaster. The previous abbot of Wanshan Temple had been in the catacombs for many years. There had been no trace of him. Recently, however, there were rumors that the old monk who had been in the catacombs had returned. Moreover, he had entered the rank 7 ranking list directly. This surprised many people. Wu Quishan nodded slightly. He said, he's back. However, his injuries are not light. I heard that he has been in the catacombs for a long time. He wanted to condense a golden body, but did not succeed. Golden body. The woman in green shook her head slightly. It was not easy to achieve a golden body. She had condensed a golden body. Although she looked like she was only in her 30s or 40s, in reality, she was already close to 100 years old. Fong Ping did not know either. Otherwise, he would have complained in his heart. Why was a centenarian pretending to be a young married woman? The woman in green did not continue talking about Wanshan Temple. After thinking for a while, she suddenly said in a low voice, "Is there any news about Lu Jin?" Wu Quishan frowned slightly. He shook his head. Lu Jun was his father-in-law. However, since he had appeared once 2 years ago, there was no news of him anymore. Now, Lu Jun's name was not on the ranking list. Peak rank 7 Lu Jun's ability was not weak. Whether he was dead or alive, it was difficult to determine at the moment. The old monk of Wanshan Temple had returned after disappearing for so many years. Lu Jun might not be dead. Wu Quishan did not say much. Lu Jun and the woman in green were from the same generation. His seniority was 1 generation lower than the few rank 8s present. However, when powerhouses had reached this stage, age did not matter. As long as they were not teachers and students or related by blood, and their abilities were similar, they would naturally treat each other as equals. While they were talking in the cultivation room, Fong Ping condensed a gush of celestiality. It was not too strong, about 5C or so. He was constantly compressing the flesh on his hand. Wu Quishan took a look. He frowned slightly and said in a low voice, "Using celestiality to hone an ordinary flesh body might be very difficult." Having said that, Wu Quishan turned to look at Huang Jing and said, "Go get some high-ranked monster blood." Huang Jing did not move. He said in a low voice, "I can't do less. Bring it all." "All right." Huang Jing nodded and disappeared quickly. After a while, Huang Jing returned. At this moment, Huang Jing was carrying a few crystal jars the size of water tanks. One of the jars attracted everyone's attention. In that jar, a large amount of golden liquid was rolling continuously. The tanned old man from Siam was really about to swallow. He could not care less about embarrassing himself. He said in a complicated tone, "Rank 8 golden body monster's blood?" "Yes." Wu Quishan sighed softly. There was a complicated look in his eyes. This was not obtained by him. It was obtained by the old vice-chancellor after all these years. The old vice-chancellor had gone on countless expeditions in his life. He had fought rank 8 monsters more than once. He had even killed rank 8 monsters. This jar of blood was left behind by that rank 8 monster. The blood of a golden body powerhouse had long been golden. It contained some imperishable substances and was also filled with a large amount of energy. The old vice-chancellor who had killed a rank 8 monster did not have a divine weapon. Many people could not understand it. They suspected that the monster he killed was too damaged and could not be forged into a divine weapon. In the big MCMAU, very few people knew that the old vice-chancellor did not have a divine weapon. A rank 8 divine weapon had also shown its power. It had once cut off a section of a rank 9 monster plant's trunk. After that, the rank 9 monster plant's trunk was integrated into it. The divine weapon became even stronger, reaching the strength of a rank 9 divine weapon. Only a few people knew about this. However, Wu Quishan knew that he could not hide it for long. Previously, he smashed Zheng Minghong's flesh and blood. Zheng Minghong might not know anything. However, Wu Chuan was also there. That guy might know. He knew quite a lot about MCMAU. The old vice-chancellor was his teacher. Wu Quishan was not the old vice-chancellor's student. However, his teacher was also an instructor in MCMAU. However, he had died in the catacombs many years ago. Come to think of it, he and Wu Chuan could be considered brothers. His teacher was one of the first batch of instructors in MCMAU. His seniority was not lower than the old vice-chancellor's. These thoughts flashed in his mind. Wu Quishan did not think too much. He took a deep breath and nodded at Huang Jing. Seeing this, Huang Jing turned his head to look at Song Yingji and said, "Get a bathtub." "Oh right, it must be made from energy crystals." "Ah!" Song Yingji was stunned. After thinking for a while, he suddenly rushed out. After a while, he carried a crystal-like cauldron and walked over. He laughed dryly. "I don't have a bathtub. I only have this cauldron. A few years ago, technology was not at this stage. The cauldron used to burn energy stones." Huang Jing did not mind. It was good enough. Taking the cauldron, Huang Jing opened the jar in his hand and poured some red blood into it. Looking at the last jar of golden blood, Huang Jing glanced at Wu Quishan. Wu Quishan nodded slightly. Use it. The blood of a rank 8 golden body monster was also good stuff. Fang Ping had taken the school's body-strengthening elixir before. For low-rank martial artists, the effect was not bad. However, Fang Ping might not know that the body-strengthening elixir was actually mixed with some high-ranked monster's blood. Moreover, it was mixed with very little. If he did not bring back a high-ranked monster's corpse later, Wu Quishan would definitely settle the score with him. Seeing Wu Quishan nod, Huang Jing poured the golden blood into the cauldron. Once the golden blood entered the cauldron, it expelled the other red blood instantly. Even if it had been dead for many years and only blood was left, this golden blood was still incomparably domineering. Huang Jing did not delay. Very soon, he opened the door of the cultivation room, carried the cauldron, and walked in swiftly. Then he put the cauldron down and said, "Go in, take a bath." At this moment, Fang Ping was having a headache about how to prevent his flesh from collapsing. Seeing this, he glanced at the cauldron and jumped straight into the cauldron without another word. When he entered the cauldron, the blood began to boil. Huang Jing said in a low voice, "There's rank 7 and 8 monsters' blood here. You can use it to hone your body. Don't absorb it into your body unless you want to have some monster's characteristics on your body." Got it. Huang Jing did not stay any longer. He walked out quickly. A few rank 8 powerhouses were still continuing to release imperishable substances. On the other side, Song Yingji also began to continue letting people burn energy stones. This kid Fang Ping, the price he spent this time was too high. If even this did not work, then MCMU would not be able to do anything unless they found a rank 9 Paragon powerhouse to help and try. However, the chances were not high. In the cultivation room, the blood in the cauldron began to boil. The flesh in Fang Ping's hand began to absorb this blood. However, after the blood was filtered, it was discharged again. In the blink of an eye, the flesh on Fang Ping's hand bone appeared with a faint golden glow. It's working. Everyone's spirits were lifted. Old Man Li's face was also filled with joy. He said hurriedly, "It works. This is a sign of achieving half a golden body." And now, Fang Ping was combining celestiality, imperishable substances, monster's blood force, vitality force, energy stone's energy, rapidly forging his flesh. The flesh on his hand bone continued to spread. Gradually, his entire left arm was covered in flesh. The flesh was faintly golden. Seeing this scene, everyone heaved a sigh of relief. They were no longer collapsing. This also meant that the flesh's toughness could support the golden bones. His left arm recovered, faintly golden. Fang Ping's celestiality continued to compress this flesh, making the golden glow more intense. After a while, faint golden flesh appeared on his right arm too. The 4 rank 8s who were injecting imperishable substances looked at each other and stopped in unison. The other 4 began to take over. Wu Quishan raised his eyebrows slightly, saying, "Fang Ping, don't continue compressing. It's fine as long as you can maintain the golden bones." This kid, did he really want to completely forge a golden body? 8 rank, 8 powerhouses. The remuneration they received was limited. How could they have so much imperishable substances for him to consume and waste? Inside the room, Fang Ping looked slightly regretful. He did not continue compressing either. These few rank 8s were not his father. How could they endlessly inject imperishable substances to maintain his flesh's regeneration? The next moment, flesh appeared on Fang Ping's legs, chest, and back. Outside the room, Fu Chanding watched for a while. Suddenly, he whispered, "Does he still have more?" "What?" Zhao Lei was stunned. Fu Chanding lowered his voice and said, "Second brother." Cough, cough, cough. Zhao Lei gave him a strange look. "What were you thinking?" The few low ranks at the side did not hear it, but it could not be hidden from the high ranks. Old Man Li said casually, "Who cares if he has more or not? If he didn't have it before, he should have it now. It's even faintly golden." Cough, cough, cough. Wu Quishan coughed, glaring at him. This disrespectful old thing. What nonsense was he spouting in front of his students? Inside the room, Fong Ping did not care so much. Right now, Fong Ping's flesh was growing more and more. Very soon, the flesh on his body had almost recovered. However, it was still lacking a little. Just as everyone was waiting outside, the flesh on Fong Ping's face suddenly shattered. Fu Changding and the others who were watching with widened eyes suddenly took a step back in shock. F*CK, it would scare people to death. Okay. He's still fine. Amazing. Fu Changding panted. This kind of person was too scary. Fong Ping could not be bothered with them. He dived into the cauldron, burying his entire head inside. The blood in the cauldron gradually faded from golden red color, beginning to change into a transparent color. In the next moment, the other 4 golden body powerhouses turned pale, turning their heads to look at Wu Quishan. Wu Quishan nodded lightly. The rest of them retracted their palms. Inside the room, Fong Ping suddenly said gloomily, "Grandmasters, give more." Wu Quishan saw that his head was still stuffed in the cauldron. He frowned and said, "It should be enough. Just a little more, Fong Ping." Wu Quishan was slightly displeased. Did he really think that these rank 8s were his subordinates? Since his injuries were healed, then come out. Fong Ping was silent for a moment. Suddenly, he poked his head out and said gloomily, "Just a little more." Outside the room, everyone was stunned for a moment. Then, there was a sudden burst of stifled laughter. Wu Quishan raised his eyebrows slightly. After a while, he said, "That's it. Let it grow naturally. The imperishable substance will recover. There's no need for this. It's a waste." Vice-Chancellor. Fong Ping looked like he was on the verge of breaking down. He said bitterly, This is already bald. Give me a little more." Cough, cough. Hair and eyebrows will grow back sooner or later. Wu Quishan said irresponsibly. Using the imperishable substance to recover hair and eyebrows was too much of a loss. If it was bald, then so be it. It would grow back naturally after some time. Fong Ping was not a real golden body anyway. "Don't!" Fong Ping wanted to cry, but had no tears. He said hurriedly, "I'll pay." Outside the room, the few rank 8s ignored him. That was enough. Moreover, they felt that it was not necessary to recover some hair and eyebrows. Even if they paid, they would feel that it was too wasteful. Vice-Chancellor, Instructor, Grandmasters, seeing that these people were about to walk out, Fong Ping was about to cry. Motherf *Cur. It had already come to this. Could they not give him a little more? At this moment, he knew how he looked. His entire head was bald. It was not the kind that was shaved, but the kind that came from a boiled egg that was peeled. Absolutely smooth. Not even stubble. Vice-Chancellor, don't go. Fong Ping's cries were heard, but Wu Quishan ignored him. He walked out with a few rank 8s. The others were also trembling. They walked out, waiting for Fong Ping to come out first. "No, give me a little more. Just a little more. Aren't you trying to trick me on purpose?" Fong Ping wanted to cry, but had no tears. These old perverts were definitely trying to trick him on purpose. He had already output so much. Why would he care about this little bit? Others aside, Wu Quishan should have no problem giving him a little. He could cultivate it back in 2 or 3 days. Chen Yunxi, who was walking at the back, could not help but turn around and comfort him. "Actually, it's quite nice. You should come out first." "I won't go out even if you beat me to death." Fong Ping roared in grief and indignation. They were definitely doing it on purpose. This was too infuriating. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.